Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. This is day number 2 of the PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds Invitational. And of course, we're in with a new fan. We are playing duos today. And my word, things are going to get even hotter than yesterday because not only the stakes are raised, the prize pool has raised. We are now playing for $62,000. We have 80 players once again being thrown out of a plane. And finally, we have to see the last man or team standing. Joining me on the desk, as ever, I have the wonderful Lauren Pansy Scott. Lauren, we saw some wild and wonderful things yesterday. I mean, it was all over the place. Let's be honest. It was solos. It was madness.
Yeah, it was pretty crazy yesterday. I think in duos we're going to get that a little bit calmer, a little bit more refined on the action, I'd say. And I will give you guys an update as to who's teamed up with who, how the kind of the squads have split themselves into duos here. I'll let you guys know in a bit. There's also the new additions of the guys coming through the qualifier. Keep your eyes on Outsider, Butt, and Mazzarini. These guys are well known. I'll give background on them too. But let's go back to the first day because so much went down, so many, I guess, quirky plays playing the system, but in a very intelligent way. You had some great plays from individuals too, showing their power, their potential. There's a lot of positives to take away from yesterday. I
think the one thing that we kind of touched on right at the start, we're like, okay, looks like the UK sports scene now has a chance.
It's got a chance.
And then all of a sudden, the Korean team just said, not today, my friends. This is not happening whatsoever. And they just came in, they stomped it. They played an amazing game, and you mentioned playing very intellectual. You know, looking at Evermore kind of said, I read the rules, I knew the point system, and now this is going to be. And at the end of the day, it's all about the W. If you're going to be playing that kind of game, there's a £15,000 on the line. Seriously, $30,000 for first place. It's a lot of money.
It is, and I think obviously this is still a very early tournament. I think officially it's probably the 3rd. There was a charity invitational, there was the DreamHack tournament, and now this. It's still early. I think we're all seeing the value of maybe upping the value of kills down the line. That'd be quite a nice thing to see. I think people would really appreciate that. But this is still a testing environment. And we all know that the first day is going to be filled with nerves. A lot of players not quite settled in yet. A lot of them getting used to the setup and the environment. Gamescom, it's pretty loud, to say the very least. And nerves will be certainly affecting these players. You saw Break, even a couple of moments, you'd have seen him land him every single day of the week online. He eventually got there, of course, with that fantastic win at the start. But you can see the environment will keep these players on their toes. So that's something to look into. Now into day 2, though, people getting more comfortable, getting a little acclimatized to the environment. I want to see smart plays. I want to see that individual power. I want to see more of what we saw yesterday, but times 10.
The difference being today, obviously, we see the dividers have been pulled down. We have the dividers between each individual player because it's solos. You don't want screen watching. Now, one of the dividers come down. You've got a partner in crime there. You're going to feel a little bit more comfortable. You've got someone who are used to playing with online, but now you've got this buddy system. When they're dropping out of that plane, it's not a matter of, okay, well, it kind of is. It's always about survivability in solos. It's about survivability in every single one of these matchups, but now it's a matter of looking, when we land, do we have each other's back covered? Can you see me if I'm getting shot at? Can I see you if you're getting shot at?
Yeah, no, it's going to be a big difference. There's so many differences even going from solo to duos, away from like how it physically applies, the loot disparity now as well, or how it kind of spreads throughout. Basically, how I want to think of it is, in solos, loot is pretty decent. You can generally get yourself at least an AR, level 2'd up. You know what I mean? If you play to that, you can generally get it without much of a problem. Duos, it gets a little more sparse, of course, because you're sharing it between 2. But you guys at home, we've already mentioned a couple of the players. I want to know what you guys at home are thinking and who's going to walk away with this. You saw day 1, use the hashtag Battlegrounds to let us know who you support. I've seen you on Twitch chat, that's not good enough. I want you to get on Twitter right now and let us know, because that's, then it's on paper. Then you can't pretend that you went for someone else. I've seen Mazzarini fans coming out in their droves. Now, if people know where I came from, many a moon ago in gaming, you'll know why I know of Mazzarini. This guy was one of the best players in Call of Duty 4 many, many years ago. Almost 10 years ago these days, getting towards that marker. He has got buckets of LAN experience. I wouldn't say, however, this is, his game. I've looked up his stats in PUBG. He's not up there with the top dogs, but he certainly won't feel the pressure of the environment. He can shake that off any day of the week. So expect things from him. Outside of that, you want to be looking at Outsider and Butts, the Rocket Esports duo that are coming here. They qualified yesterday for this. Now, Butts, if you play this game and you look on the leaderboard, he sits at that first place more often than not. His elo, his stats are so damn good. He is one of those players that you want to see in these tournaments down the line. Outsider, plenty of experience as well, playing Battlefield 4, all these previous titles, and being good at it. A LAN player, been in Planet Key Dynamics. So a lot of the qualifying teams, I don't know the other two teams coming through as well, but those two teams, eyes towards them. Keep a little bit of a spot on that. But you know what? There's fan favorites here. That's why I want the hashtag used. So we get to see who the people at home really support.
And this is where things become really interesting because we're now injecting even more players, even more teams from many different backgrounds. And as Lauren touched on, we have people from YouTube, we have people from Twitch, we have professional players, we have streamers, we have content creators. There are a vast array of personalities here from all across the globe. And honestly, anything goes. But to get a little bit more of a feel how the show is going to go down and the people who are actually a part of it, we are going to throw it down to Cameron, who's on the floor of Gamescom. Cameron, how's it feeling down there, buddy? What's the vibe?
You guys nailed it right on the head. Yesterday down here, it was just full of nerves. None of these players had ever played in a Battlegrounds lane environment yet, because this is, in fact, the first. But this time around, they've gotten 1 day under their legs, so they have a little more sense of what's going on. However, that doesn't mean that nerves are completely shot, because yesterday were solos, today is third-person duos, and it's a completely different game. A lot of people may be a little disappointed with their outcome yesterday. They're coming back in with the drive to win and take home the W on this one. And we do have another player interview real quick at the start, and it's gonna be with Noble's Edaculus. Let me just walk over here and interrupt him, pick him up from his game. Hello. Hi, welcome. For all of you at home, this is Edaculus from Team Noble. Not known to a lot of people. Do you want to give the audience at home a little bit of background on you and your team?
Oh, well, actually, I met Boom back in 2012, National Selection 2. We played top of the world players. Vet player CS 1.6. I mean, FPS games throughout the past. And I just met these guys actually through Boom. Taro and Daz, been knowing them a couple months. Great group of guys. We get along. We got good chemistry. I mean, a lot of teams get broken up here and there, but I mean, we've had our faults. We've yelled, screamed, argued, but I mean, great teams are forged through hellfire, right?
Yeah, and you guys have actually been part of a Battlegrounds league, PUBG Online, since the very beginning, that league's iteration, more or less. How do you think that experience has helped you grow as a team?
Well, being the first, being one, actually we were the first squad announced. I mean, it was early on, we really didn't know that there was going to be a huge esports scene, and it ended up happening. And well, I mean, as a team, we didn't know how far exactly it was going to take us, but we're here.
So I could be wrong on the exact numbers, but you're currently placed number 7 in the league, PUBG Online. Yeah, thereabouts. TSM and Team Liquid both joined a couple of weeks ago, and they're a little lower down on the standings, partly because they joined a little late and they didn't have as many weeks as you did for this current season to gather up points. However, also looking at your team, one thing that stood out to us and the other commentators was that you had incredibly high rankings on the NA server. And yet, you and then your team didn't really make that big of a name for yourselves in the solo games that we saw yesterday. Do you think are you going to take today as a day to essentially try and make up that what could be a little bit of a disappointing outcome?
Most definitely. I mean, duos and squads, that's where we shine. Solos, I mean, I'm not going to complain about any problems or anything. It's just, to us, that's not our strong point. Even if everything was just pristine, I honestly don't think. I mean, Liquid killed it. Those guys, they bested us. They really did. Great group of guys. But squads and duos, it's a new story.
Do you think you have more confidence in your squad play or your duo play? If there is any disparity, of course.
Squads, for sure. Definitely.
What is for audiences at home who are new to this game, new to watching this game, what's the major difference between squads and duos?
Major difference? Well, I mean, you got to think about it. Squads, they got 4-man teams. Duos, you got twice as many teams out on the field. I mean, that means people are trying to avoid as much confrontation as possible, and every compound is usually taken. That's kind of the rule of thumb. You got to play the circles a little differently. You got to be a little bit more conservative or more aggressive. It all depends on the situation. At duos, it's a lot more action. Squads, it's a lot more patient and tactical fights.
All right, so final question, and I am going to upset you by not giving you any time to contextualize it either. First person or third person?
My preference, third.
All right, good enough. I'll let you get back to your game. I know a lot of these players are trying to get back into the server. They're all pumped up and ready to go. So I'm going to toss it back to Pansy and Sims while we get into the first game.
Thank you very much, Karen. Okay then, Pansy, let's set the tone here. Let's remind ourselves exactly, for people at home who are tuning into Battlegrounds, have never seen this before. Let's break it down. How does this thing work? When we're talking from a duo stance, diving out of the plane, what are we looking for these players and these teams to be doing straight off the bat?
Well, I already just heard the Shroud quote coming out from it. That is pristine. So I'm starting to think of Shroud here and the duos he plays out with Summit and such. But, you know, away from the crazy fragging approach you might see online from certain players, I don't think we're going to get that extreme level like you would be watching those guys, right? I don't think that's going to play here, right? People are more conservative. They are playing for the longevity. But what you want is a solid place to get decent enough loot to be able to supplement two players, right? You need both ARs, you know, one for each player, maybe an SMG for a while. If you go to somewhere that's still close quarter combat sort of environment, you know, Yasnayas or Pachinkis, that's still fine. But for me, overall, you want to have minimum level 2 throughout and an AR. Like, that's the basics for me. If you want to go to a higher value area, you go to that military island, Millie Island. If you go Novo, if you go Georgia Pole, that's where I get excited. I want to see the team starting to play a little bit more risky. I know that it doesn't reward it as much in the point system, and I know that's going to be in the back of their minds, and they might want to play it a little bit more safe, but I would love to see that come through. We might see it in the first-person perspective tomorrow, to be fair, but in third person, I'm not sure if they're going to go for it. I think we're going to see somewhat of a similar-ish start, but maybe more plays towards the cars especially, because then you can be far more mobile, moving around the map, going to the extremities, trying to get that, I guess, further amount of loot into your pockets. And
then overall, we will be seeing the same point system as yesterday when it comes to standings, but for individual kills, it will change slightly. It will be 4 points per kill, so a reduction from 1 from yesterday. Now, once that's all said and done then, you know exactly how this thing's going to work. You know how these players are going to be playing. Let's take a quick look back at yesterday. We do have some highlights to show you guys, some of the kills, some of the frags that all went down. But one thing I want to touch on mainly, Evermore's play style. It was very different. It was also very clever. In theory, nobody killed
Clevermore.
I like it. Hey.
Stole that from someone in Twitch chat, so. Nobody
actually killed him apart from the circle, which is interesting.
And you can see him taking down players like Ninja here. He actually did very well. The guy is talented. Now, if people don't know who Evermore is, out in Korea, he is one of the better players in Overwatch. The guy is not like some random guy who just turned up and gone, I'll play that system for the funsies. No, he's actually a very talented individual. So if that comes through today, that's something to look at. He certainly did play the system well. But yeah, yesterday to me was just players getting warmed into this. You're going to see the kills coming through that I know a lot of people were getting into here. And Ninja again, he's just had some real rough games, to be completely honest. There's Evermore again, holding his own. He's very, very good. So don't underestimate him just because of the style he brought here. I actually love this kill from the boat as well. So well done. Actually, the precision on this shot with the 4 times, it's pretty spicy. Not going to take much. Yeah, that's the reaction I'd have had. But we saw some great moments throughout this game. This was the final one that actually came through from Evermore in that game. He played it well. He allowed I think it was the TSM guys, or Liquid guys, excuse me, to battle it out in that one compound that was left within the circle. And then he took down the winner with some good positioning and good mental approach.
I mean, there can be a lot said for turning up to a gunfight last, you know. Turning up, you've got plenty of meds. They're going to be weak. They're going to be coming straight off the back of a fight. That last player at the end, as you mentioned, after the fight was done, he had no idea where Evermore was coming from. He just crept up behind, took him down, and got the W, and ended up being our solos champion. Now, the bigger question is, can they transition this into duos? You were talking about Ninja, for example, going for some risky plays, going for some kills. The man's an aggressive player, but he's going to be now playing with his squad. And remember that Luminosity Gaming, as a team, have been playing with each other in arena-style games for quite some time now. Can they bring this to the floor today? Can they bring it to duos? We're not in squads yet, but certainly, I think this kind of style, this teamwork, will suit teams who have been together for a while a lot better. But then, on the opposing side of the fence, you mentioned the people who have qualified, the invited teams who are surplus to this. There's some really big, nasty names out there.
Yeah, Rocket Esports, to me, are the guys that I'm going to be keeping my eye on. See how they do in the grander scale of things. See how they compare to your TSMs, to your Liquids, to your Cloud9s. So that's what my eye's on, because I like the competitive aspect. But again, though, the community aren't just favoring these guys. I'm seeing a lot of shout-outs for Vicstar coming in. Ninja still got support. Stody as well. The Mythic guys. The Lex spam was real for a while. And credit to Lex, actually, from Mythic. He did very well just out of the prize money area, but he got plenty of kills. He was certainly in the action for a large portion of it. So there's a lot of names we're looking at here. And I do think this might play better to the team chemistry, but we also might see just people being more confident with this and comfortable, because let's be honest, most people do play mostly, the duos, the squad aspect, especially in this tournament, something that's far more, I guess, natural to them. But we will see the difference in team chemistry here. That's going to be a big thing.
I just really want to pick your brains here, because you're the specialist in this front. But when you talk about the Mythic guys, for example, all right, we know the Caname. They've been playing CS for many years. We know the Caname, but what else can they bring from the CS side and transition into Battlegrounds? What advantage do you think that will give them, if any?
You can theorize, right? It may not apply at all, but the theory is that if you put someone like Lex and Flom, one, communication is going to be phenomenal. If you want clean, crisp communication, that's where you want to look, and not panicking under pressure, relaying good information. I think everyone who plays squads, when you're at home, there's that one guy who just is overly communicating, shouting everything, and it doesn't make sense, or the guy who goes completely mute, and you just die because someone's walked up behind you, they've spotted them and said nothing. It's just like, are you serious? Rob, that would be. But the point is that these two should have genuinely good communication. They should know how to convey the best possible amount in the smallest amount of space, which can make a big difference, especially in this environment. You want to get that really, really clean. Reaction-wise, I think we might see a difference when it gets to first-person perspective, when it comes to maybe some of the players being more fluent in that. But still, yeah, we're still seeing some of the new qualifiers. So these are the guys who came through, but there's a lot of players here, and I know a lot of people at home were excited to see like the likes of Ibiza coming through. He's actually not qualified yet. He's still playing through the qualifiers. I'll hopefully get an update if he's going to be in the games later on. Still a chance in that. But yeah, I think communication will be key. I also think positioning becomes very, very different here. I think that's something that maybe Cloud9 should be able to step into. Basically area dominance, right? And that sounds weird, but holding the right angles, being aware of your weaker sides and the weaker pushes, and just trying to just complement each other in game.
Do we really think that when we're looking towards a squad kind of game and the play style, is getting center circle still going to be the big factor? Getting in, getting yourself stuck in, getting dug in, should I say, making sure that you've got a compound, making sure you've got a building that gives you 360 coverage, and been able to just kind of mow people down and let them come to you.
Well, that's the meta, isn't it, right? I think the TSM guys were talking about it today, as well as the Liquid guys, about what the current meta is, especially on their Twitters. So if you want to read it, check it out there. And I agree, it is mostly getting a decent compound, a house or two, generally with 2 levels to it, and playing quite passive once you've done your looting route. Just get somewhere central in the circle and lock it down. Mostly because, as you said, you're safe to a degree. You expose yourself to the angles that you want to play with. It works well in third person, and it's something you can kind of then just kind of push yourself on from. You can create plans. You're not just at the mercy of everything else. One, you shouldn't be playing against the circle either. That's a big factor, right? The circle becomes an enemy of itself. You can use it as a safety net of, okay, well, if I'm safe here and the blue's in this area, you try and make the assumption that players aren't going to be running through it too late. You'll keep a tab on it, but generally it becomes a safe zone for you to be back to. But playing on the edge of the circle, you can get screwed over so easy. How many times has the circle gone from one side to the other? It
can, especially if you're doing the game where you'll turn up late to a gunfight, right? You can go off and think, okay, well, I'll just go down Millie base happily, loot away, and then work my way back to the circle. But all of a sudden the circle's just like, boom, it's up in the north, and you're like, well, I don't have a car, what do? I've got to work up there.
Run.
The one thing that does get annoying, you see people, which, again, it can pay off. Sometimes anything goes in this game, but when you're running and all of a sudden the circle, okay, I'm in now, I can heal up. Bam, the circle just goes complete north or complete polar opposite to you, wherever you are, and you've just got to keep running. There's no time to loot, there's no time to fight. You know that triple damage is on your back. You know that you're in trouble if you're staying outside the zone, and you have to get into that circle. And you do see some of those times where you're turning up, but people are already on the edge. They're already waiting. They're just lying in the grass, hoping you turn up, kind of like we've seen bridge camping, so to speak. If you know people are going to take a specific route or where they're coming in, kind of bottleneck them and just clean up the kills. Absolutely.
Now, we're going to see the guys getting ready here. This is the lobby, of course. Now, just to highlight that as well, for one of the large squares on the map, the 1,000-meter looking things, it's about 3 minutes running at full pace from one side to the other. So you can imagine that's where positioning really can make big differences, and that's where the awareness will come in, especially when you know the circle times and how it plays out. But 1 minute left. This is your chance at home to get using that hashtag. Hashtag Battlegrounds. Who are you supporting? Which duo do you fancy? Or maybe the individual who's going to do it. And revives now become a thing, of course. Solos, we don't see it. You don't see it, of course. Now it's all about it. It's not just about the knockout. It's about confirming that kill. We're going to keep tabs on all of this and how it plays through. You want those level 3 helmets because you know you may be able to suffer through a little bit more, but you can see outside of there warming up as well. He's going to be my underdog of the day, right? He's the guy with his teammate. That's the team I'm going to put my eyes on. TSM already proven they are well in the runnings for this. We've seen the Korean guys coming in and just changing what people expected. So many big plays so far. I can't wait. I'm
really looking forward to seeing how Cloud9 do. We know that Sweat is a very, very vocal person on 3-person, and he enjoys 3rd-person mode. He does say it. And I tell you what, I respect the man for doing so. You get a lot of people being active and saying 1st-person is definitely the way forward, but Swear, he's standing his ground. So for me, it's seeing whether or not he can prove it today. Let's see where this plane does come in from.
Takes a second, obviously, to come into the map here, but once we see it, we can kind of talk through the options that's available. All right, so it's a southwest start. Looking like it's going to head over what, like Quarry, maybe towards Mansion side? No, not that north, maybe more Shelter, Prison. So that's Military Island is in for the long parachute. You can definitely make that. Georgia Pole, you've got the hospital area that you can make it towards. Rozhok is in, Yasnaya is in. We have a really nice spread here. I'm hoping we see some Primos play. That's a really good shout. It looks like, Luminosity are going for it, and I'm really happy. That's a great place for duos. You can very much isolate areas and keep it clean. We've got a couple of West Road plays up there. We've got, Forzen I can see heading north, TSM heading north. Georgia Pole might be a very hot area. We'll see if they go further, quicker down towards maybe Gatka. And we can see a couple of players, the Panda guys, heading right over towards a military base. Not a bad play at all. Also, let's remember that Milta might have the action of getting a car, heading towards Novo. Everything is up for grabs here. I'd like to see people going for the extremes of Zaki, maybe Severny. That'd be fun. But all the action for me right now will be towards that northwest to begin with as they drop first, and northeast will be just getting into it once they can hit that Yasnaya point, or maybe even lower down towards School and Rozhok.
Well, unfortunately, I do have to disappointingly say we do have to restart this server.
Oh no! Why have you done this?
I do apologize. We do have to restart this server just as several people are making their way down to military base, so we will bring this back. Apologies, guys. We need to make sure all the players are happy and make sure this is all fair and done. So we'll get you an update as to exactly what's going to happen next. Give us a few more minutes and we'll get this server rebooted for you guys as quickly as possible. But as you mentioned, there were several viable options there.
That was a really nice drop.
Yeah, where do you go from there? I mean, you had the center. People can make their way up north if they wanted to. You had quite a lot of higher up ends viable, as you mentioned. Georgia Pole, Yasnaya, Roz, they were all easily accessible. Then you can make your way down over to Milta. I didn't really see many people making their way to Milta. Now, I'm a big Milta fan.
I'm not. Because it's very hard to follow it up. You're walking into areas where people are already set. So Milta, the town, okay, I can see some credit. But Milta Power Station, the actual power station itself, the one that's on the further east coast near the rock side, I don't think loot's that good. Now, I know people will happily prove me wrong and they'll have a discussion on that. I actually prefer the smaller piece of the Milta Power. Yeah, yes. I actually think that's not too bad. But the thing is that let's say you don't get the full gear that you want. Let's say that doesn't happen for you. Where do you go next? Do you play late to Prison? Probably not. You're going to be walking in people already geared. Do you head to Milta Town? People are already there. It's very hard to then transition away from that area for me.
Well, we've just had an update from the floor. Apparently, we are now continuing on with the game, which is an interesting one.
Let's get into this.
So,
all right.
We apologize, guys. We've just been advised now that this game will continue on. So let's kick things off with Chappie.
We've already got a couple of kills coming through as well, just down towards the south. So we're going to have to just jump into seeing how this goes through. Nice work from the Liquid boys so far. At least Scoom, he's got himself a car. A little bit to work with as well. Yeah, that's with Moleman. So the Liquid guys have gone towards George. That's one of the higher likely spawns that there's 15 of, the high chance vehicle spawns. He's clearly got one. He can head out towards Zaki. He's going to go out of the circle, but plenty of time with that Darcia to get over there and get everything done. But let's see the spread. Yeah, this is very nice. This is a very open spread.
The interesting thing is, look at where the circle is. Obviously, we saw that mid to bottom area where the plane came straight across. People who have gone down, and there are people still making their way down now across the bridge, all the way at Novo.
Worth it.
Especially if they've got the vehicles. You saw them in the vehicles, so they can just get the gear and get the hell out of Dodge, move their way up to the north, and then they'll be inside the circle.
Yeah, I like this play from the Liquid guys. I don't know if there's anyone already in Zaki. I didn't quite check it myself. But they pretty much got this. There's also the mini underground bunkers that are on the way back towards Severny. And with that circle so north, they only have to kind of traverse in on these. If they want to find a boat even, that does become an option. I don't think they're the players to do it, but basically for me, this is a really nice play to begin with. Zaki, it may not be high milli, but you've got a couple of the hangars too. Over there, you've got some of the guard towers as well, so you will be able to get decent loot. Maybe a fuel can just get them back in the circle nice and comfy, but with already a rifle in hand, everything else, they're looking really nice to begin with. And there's a bit of a battle going down towards the south side of Severny. It looks like one's in the car, they're trying to get away from each other. And yeah, every compound is now getting busy. Even TSM taking some pot shots as well on the cars going by. This is going to be far more, I guess, in the action, right? There's still revives possible. So Moondie here walking around, well, not walking, excuse me, driving around Lost Aiming, but there's already a team in Severny. I remember seeing it. So they're walking into already preset action. It looks like they have some loot, a UMP, full auto. I don't see armor on the players, so that could be an issue. Now they're going to spot the Darcia. They're going to know what's up. They need to get out of there. And this is what I'm saying. If you roll up late to areas, you're going to put yourself in a position where you're going to take shots. It's a very risky play playing late into these areas now. Maybe head towards that northern side, pick your way through, but you will be playing undergeared here. I
like exactly what he did. Rather than turn and face into this actual city, unfortunately, which may have led to other people being there, they've just got the hell out and says, okay, we'll pick a compound. You saw him mark it on the map, we'll drive over there, get yourself some time. Hopefully there will be a bit more loot. But now if they need to come back there, if there's no loot there, they're going to have a bit of a difficult time, which will make them and force them upwards north. Fair play to him. Just looking at some of the other players now. Ollie level 3 helmet. That's a nice way to work it. 2 ARs as well. 1 in the back pocket and 1 in front. It all depends how many people are there. I mean, you look at his teammate. He is a fair distance. If he did go down, he's going down. There's no one there to revive him. But when you're so far kind of out in the open, you have these mini compounds to yourself, you've got a decent chance of getting loot. NPR, though, speaking of loot, doesn't look that well geared whatsoever. No helmet, no chest. Hopefully they can pick something up. But as you mentioned earlier, Lauren, they're going to start turning up to these compounds now, and people are already going to be there.
Yeah, it is true, but you've got to go for fights at that point, don't you? That's what goes into the back of your mind is, all right, if we're not getting loot, you're forced to take fights, and they're maybe not ideal fights either. So you might be able to get a little bit more from this, maybe a couple of stims coming through, a couple of shots coming out as well. Moleman's gone down. Forzen actually finding that kill. Big pickup for him. Great loot as well. This is going to really upgrade him. Clearly already in that compound. Wait, yes, this is over at Zaki. This was the early play that I thought was going to work out really well for Liquid. They've got rolled up on, so this is a huge problem. I'm pretty sure there might be one more member alive for the Liquid guys over on this side of things. But that's a good quick hit and run. Get out there, Forzen. You've got some sick loot. Make a move. Get back. You can chill out now. You've got a perfect upgrade.
Leads me to kind of think is, did Forzen's teammate actually get taken down? Because I'm looking across there now. Might have some sort of replay.
Oh,
yeah, there it is. Really quickly up north. No, we're going to try and get some more POVs for you guys. There we have it. We'll jump back to Fandra.
Yeah.
Moose POV. What gear is he wearing? We got a level 2 vest, level 2 helmet.
Shotgun in the George play.
Yeah.
And I prefer this side of town. It's quick and efficient looting more than anything. I actually hate these buildings personally. You can get great loot out of it. I'm not going to say you can't. But it's a lot of time to check a lot of buildings for not necessarily the same amount as loot as the kind of 6 buildings. You know, the kind of smaller, more residential looking buildings. But you can see he's got decent loot here. He's got pretty well set in this sort of position. The kind of 6 buildings. He actually had a bit. You know, he was one of my MVPs actually. He played really well. Guys. He picked up on the coast.
Insane.
Really nice.
It was more the fact that
look, Gassy Mexican's just there. I wonder if they can actually open up on this. They could go for a bit of a spray. Well. Yeah, this could be big. If they can actually find the shots, I don't know if they're going to engage. They might be able to do with that car unless they've already parked theirs in. But look at it. Cake is being such a git in this, just taking all the vehicles. And you're kind of screwing over other players. Now, it does look as though Adren's gone down. He's been final killed as well. No revive coming in. Stylish move actually finding Hangar 2. That's going to be one of the teams from the Mythic side. The CSGO player's gone. That's been removed. So it'll be Flom and Lex left in to try and represent those boys, but really nice pickup there coming through. That was over in the south side of what looks like Georgia. Yeah, the kind of south side, very extremity side of it. Brilliant play from him. He's got to be nonton juga gitu. Kita nobar jadi nobar. Serenity. They might have heard those shots, so they're going to have to prepare themselves for what they're going to find out here.
Sticking his AR on full auto because he does know someone else is there. But as you mentioned, the more teams that they kill, pretty much the more that they're able to just keep on looting. We're looking at some other POVs as well, I think. No, we're going to go back to Stylish News. Yes, we are. We're changing sending
this
them
is
all
OC7,
over.
so he's heard those shots.
And they're going to be rolling in on them. Now, they need to be careful, because if they're just hanging out the windows, this is where things start to become a problem, because they get the initial sight on them.
Yeah, but they also have to move from this area, and OC7 knows it. He doesn't want to stick in the blue. He's probably not got enough to get through. Oh, he's going to spot the player out. Takes his time on the shot. Full auto spray in. Nice work. Only gets the knockdown, not full kill. Oh, he's trying to stick around to get the kill. Maybe a little too much of a bloodlust going on there. Oh,
dari atas Bung nampaknya. Apa yang terjadi? Terciduk Bung.
But now what's the player on the roof do? Go for the kill.
Gua sambil makan guys nontonnya.
You mentioned the options though. I mean, you looked at it from that point. They are getting him up, but he went for the kill. He actually pretty much got a little bit too greedy, as you mentioned. You were quite surprised that he was poking up. He didn't know the player was on top of the building, which is fair play, but it's whether or not that tree's going to give himself enough cover, because two of them can just push down. But as you mentioned, the Defilade is there. They still have the height advantage, and he's going for another crack. He's going to lean over this wall. Let's see what you can do.
If Serenity was quick enough, she should be able to get there and be hidden a little bit by the Defilade and a little bit by the tree, but he's got the nade in hand. He knows what's going on. He knows the 1 minute safety. You've got to be careful, though. This
oh my god, kita lihat apa yang terjadi. Bom, kejauhan Bung nampaknya. Apa yang terjadi? Selamat.
The blues on the way. The full auto spray comes out from the Scar as well from the high ground. This battle is going to be tricky for them as well. Oh, lovely shot. This guy, Stylish Noob, has got some power to him as well. Serenity's now down. Oshi7 has the option. Do I go for the revive? Do I need to lay down fire? How do I get out of this? He's at such a disadvantage. Needs to land a shot. No, he's gone. Brilliant stuff between Stylish Noob and Shaka, dominating the high ground, taking down Fremily.
Standing their ground and keeping on track. They just take control of the level 3 building. They just look down upon them. One of them goes down. Again, he can't approach.
Ini komentatornya dari sananya guys. Emang gede. Jadi suara gamenya jauh lebih kecil daripada komentatornya dari sananya. Kalau gua kecilin, ikut kecil semua. Nih. Nih, gua kecilin. Suara gamenya juga kecil.
Pretty much playing at a huge disadvantage. He needs to land the kind of like one instant shot off with the head and then kind of follow up. Cake here though in a long range battle, but that 8 times is going to work wonderfully. Shotgun on the back, not perfect, but suppressed as well with the 8 times on this sort of Scar. I like it. Big fan, but there's very limited cover for him to work through and towards. Cloud9 will happily play these areas out. They're very diligent players. Curious what loot they have to play with here, but Cake's in a predicament now. You can see him considering, do I go to the water? Do I try and work my way up? He can head towards the more northern side of things, but those shots are keeping him pinned.
That's what they're doing. They're just picking it to say, okay, we know exactly where you are, my friend. There is no point in trying.
Ada yang lewat tuh live Bung, kita lihat boncengan. Apakah akan selamat? Nampaknya selamat. YOLO sekali. Terbaik. Makan lagi ah.
A Scar with a silencer and an 8 times scope is a very, very nasty weapon. If he gets lucky, and if one of C9
76 ya Octoramonth semua, iya 100. Tadi berapa ya statnya? Gue lupa ngeliat. Yang tahu tadi statnya berapa orang? Tolong dong komentar. Ini duo yang artinya ada 50 tim maksimal dan mereka dalam satu mega warnet guys. Dalam satu tempat semua. Tempatnya udah kayak warnet super dewa gitu. Ini duo. Lihat di pojok kiri atas ada nama 2 biji, berarti itu duo. Wah, break. Waduh, breaknya down dong. Waduh.
He's looking around the corner and he's also very cautious himself. Will back around the wall, just give himself some cover. MPN's going to move in. It's whether or not he knows where this other player is, just looking down the barrel of that wall. If someone banks him, unfortunately, it could be the end. He's so cautious. He knows exactly that this player is on the opposite side. Breaks obviously falling, giving in the information.
Oh iya, gue lupa nyantumin itunya. Link originalnya. Habis makan deh.
At this point, he's going to try and adjust the free look so he can spot the house push if required. Now they've got a car 98, so hopefully at this point, Break coming back into this will be able to actually take a bit of a fight here and maybe return some.
Lu mampir doang apa mau ikut nobar?
I don't even think he had a scope though, Lauren. I mean, I could be wrong here, but I will look at his guns. He's got the UMP and the car 98 in there, but there were no scopes whatsoever. He may have been able to take one himself, but as we hop on board with Ollie from Team Liquid, he's down.
Apa sih? Suara lu kecil bego.
Kecil ya? Kecil banget.
Ini sampai gua kecilin lagi nih. Ya udah denger sekarang.
Udah denger kan banget.
Down a real shame. The guy he put on a show before, and sadly almost no meds here on the other side. Julia's working with so little, and my word, she has a mountain.
Tim pilih sendiri nggak daftar. Nggak random guys.
Keeping away from the tree to allow herself a little bit of time to work back in, and now goes for the heal. Oh, you can see the nerves, you can see her wanting to get the revive, but scared to do so.
Lu udah nonton, Pep? Lagi nonton nggak? Yang dari web aslinya? Cocokin menitnya biar enak.
But now I think they've got a little bit of time to play. Two more players as well, I'm looking. And pretty much two boxes. We've got two loot drops next to one another in a very close area. So look for the crunch coming in around the center of this circle. Players will be looking at them, but they do look at first glance, kind of look they're in no man's land. No real cover. Again, we'll have to go back and double make sure that what I'm saying is absolutely correct.
Kayaknya emang elunya yang ngomongnya pelan deh. Bukan masalah mic-nya.
As we do stick here with Interroga, just getting some information. He's got a Daculus with him also, looking through the portholes of this shack and just making sure no one's around because, all right, you've got 360 cover in a shack, but once they leave here, they've got to do a big run through a very empty field.
Minta link aslinya dah.
Player unknown battleground aja searching. Nama gamenya aja ntar muncul kok channelnya. Ntar abis makan gua taruh link aslinya di deskripsi.
He will fall, but again, he'll stand his ground and make sure that if these guys want to try and get out of this shack, he's going to be able to get some sort of sight lines on them. Meanwhile, there's still a battle going down. Kick still stuck in.
Ini mainnya bukan satu negara lagi, guys, atau antar negara, seluruh dunia, guys.
In fact, is that one of his I don't know if that's his teammates. I don't think it actually is. Is that his teammate's body? No, it's not. So he killed someone coming up on the hills there. Down the rocks. Now he's going to get even more gear, and he's still got that 8 times, I believe, inside the bag. So red dot on, if anyone wants to come up close and personal, which clearly has happened. But still, look at C9. This is going to be a standoff for quite some time.
Yeah, this is going to just carry on. They both have the same theory here. Andy going down, you can see Chappie still in this one. The Cloud9 boys doing well on both fronts, even though one team is a little pinned in. Just trying to be whittled away.
Ninja mati tok.
Apa?
Ninja mati belum?
Nggak tahu gue tadi nyiapin makan. Yang pasti sih tadi TSM break down ya, gue nggak tahu lagi kelanjutannya.
Di up kan tadi gue
ya, gue mana jagonya yang gue tahu aja. Tahu-tahu kayak kemarin lagi yang menang.
Haze up there. We've got a lot of teams moving in towards this. There's the other guys for Liquid. Scooms just down there, spotting out, spots a Darcia, lets a shot fly. That SKS hoping for a hit, but doesn't seem to have found his target.
Moleman is dead though, so he is on his own, unfortunately. Level 1 helmet into, still trying to take some pop shots, lean those shots, try and get a cheeky one as they're moving around in the down. If he does land one of those, it would be amazing. Meanwhile, Daz knocks out Obang down in the kill feed there. We're moving on with Lex.
Ntar kalau udah muncul menitnya kita cocokin ya, Pep ya. Yang pasti punya gue lebih lambat kayaknya. Ntar lu nyesuaiin aja biar pas.
Dia nggak ada di Twitch ya?
Iya, gue lupa nontonnya di YouTube lagi. Yang itu lebih gede. Ntar gue ubah deh pas udah kelar match. Minta linknya dong, taruh linknya di ini. DM atau apa? Gimana?
Update channel, peraturan.
Ya nggak bisa dong.
really chase the edge of the circle. It's there. That's exactly what they're going to do. Meanwhile, he's still focused on this. I don't think he actually has eyes on them. Whether or not he catches them in that gap there, he's looking.
Gue lupa kemarin gue restream dari Twitch.
Laying down a bit of fire, I think. Yeah, and there's the tag coming through. So Zion's in a little bit of trouble. Got to be careful. If Flom's able to spot it, and they basically got this one under wraps. The push-up's going to be very hard for him, and Evermore. Forever not in the circle, Clevermore, whatever you want to call it. He's going to have to be running through. This is going to get a little bit tricky. He's very good at this, of course. Let's take nothing away from him. He is very, very talented to be able to make these plays, but you can hear a couple of players going to be prepared for this on the other side when he moves through Yasnaya. So that's going to be his issue. If you see it in the kill feed, that's probably the issue. And, oh, wow, look at this. 2 players in one side of thing, 2 players in the other. Lost aiming's just on the other side, and at least this time Jared isn't on a bike, so hopefully he can survive. Stody just died out of the play zone. Stody, what's going on?
And we saw one player also die from falling, but one thing to note from Evermore's point of view, Panzer, was how far away his teammate was. They completely split off and go to 2 different looting directions. Again, they're going to meet up late game, provided not one of them dies. We're going to see 2 more people fall in the kill feed there. Didn't quite catch a glimpse of who it was. Meanwhile, we now see these players will be forced to move 55 seconds, and the blue will be moving in on them.
Yeah, we're down to 55 players remaining. The circle's going to get pretty tight. This sort of play around here is a lot about using pretty much as you can good positioning. Get decent ground where you've got at least some safety beside you because it's very open. The rocks still work well. Lex is doing damage, and that's great. He found Zion. You saw that battle going for quite some time. Very hard to keep up with this. When they left that little bit of foliage cover, more shots to continue as this is
ntar gue pindah ke Twitch-nya. Sekaligus naro linknya biar lebih bening.
And now we're still going to be jumping on board with the Noble guys. They're going to be doing all right. They've still got the bike with them. They're making a lot of noise. This is, I guess, brave. I don't know why you want to give this all away, but maybe a quick escape is what they want to keep in mind. And they still have a lot of high ground. There are players above them in Stalber, but for now, they can kind of relax a little bit and just watch out. That's all it is. Just get the spots. You don't even need to engage all that much either.
I mean, yes, it is a quick escape, but there's also the issue with the bike. When you're driving it at such a speed, if someone sees you and they're good at leaning the shots, you are going to go down. There's no defense from any of the vehicles whatsoever, and I believe this is the kill from Lex and Flom earlier on with the K98.
Ya, lebih lambat gua pasti, Pip. Gua aja masih masih blue zone nih.
Scoom's still alive.
You can hear the shots though.
Forzen still kicking, right? He was one of the players who did very well early on. We saw always from one horrible position to another, you were kind of screwed no matter what you did, and we love a bit of ragdoll action, just slowly flops down. But outside is the guy I want to keep my eye on. He is one of my MVPs in this. I don't know if he's still got his teammate up. A very good player individually. If only he had a bit of a better scope here, Yoonroot, but working with pretty much just the red dot, still in a good spot in the Wizard Tower. Circle's closing in. If anything, it'll play to him better now at this point. So we'll see if he can maybe make this position work for himself. You always will be focused, but you have so much cover to work with, so it does still work very nicely to your favor.
Chilling in the tower, just waiting for anyone to wander by and happily take them down, because you do have the height advantage. You do have the cover as well if you need to drop behind the wall and lay down. But he's got eyes on the rocks. I believe he knows someone's up there, or at least are waiting for someone to crawl down. Everybody on the fast side of the hill as we enter this one. Several people now moving in. We're on with I Am Lucy.
Itu sebenarnya satu yang kena. Kalau bagi gitu. Jadi kedip-kedip itu sebenarnya gara-gara nggak lengkap, Pip. Dan asal lu tahu aja, gue baru mengalami kejadiannya. Telat banget kan. Matanya sama headshot lagi.
This position is lovely. Once that circle now will kind of close in, they have the defilade to work with. They can peek up and over and play however they want, or they go for the early reposition. All the players from the hill will have to start looking at the next options. What do we want here? A bit of ammo, maybe a new helmet or two. You can see the hands shaking, looking for the pickups here. Needs a little bit of the meds. What does he have so much of? 15 bandages as well. A lot going on. They need to get rid of some of the attachments. They take up so much room. So going to put some of that 5.6 in. Got loads of 7.62, which obviously does take more space up in the backpacks. But a worthwhile switch out, and you know you can't drop it if you don't have the room in the backpack. Gotta love the system. So,
2 match lagi.
get the loot done pretty much at this point, trying to keep it as efficient as possible, and let's see how this one unfolds. In the northeast, you still have a couple of players, some playing in the water, they're doing the water tactic, cheesy, whatever, but Ninja and Chips are going to have to deal with that one. That's something coming in. On the eastern side, everyone's working through. There is a battle about to come down as well. Boom, knocking out Stylish Noob. So this is the battle that I was maybe expecting to happen. Interrogate's there, looking to help out his teammate, scared of what's happening. Evermore arrives on the scene, finally, out of the blue and into the fight. 30 seconds on the next circle. He can position well, but he's walking into an unknown environment. You don't know where they are. He could be a spray down for someone. But Ollie, I think, just got taken down by Yunru. He did. The Koreans are still in this, and they are doing damage.
Nge-YOLO banget itu ya. Yang kemarin ya. Zone ya mainnya dia. Enggak sih, YOLO banget ya.
Ninja lawan Evermore sama-sama di air.
How is he still alive in this one? He's just bailed it.
Gua telat, Pip. Jangan spoiler dong.
Fair enough. Do you know what? If you want a QA tester, he's your man right now. He's still stimmed up. He can get
pemegang panci nih.
They are going to do the water tactic, which is easy, but grenades can help. You can see Luminosity doing the same thing as well. So, you know, whatever you like, whether you like it or not, there's 2 teams doing this as we speak. Yunru, though, is completely dismantling Liquid. Haze just falls by the wayside, and he's going to do this all day long. We don't need to watch this. There's nothing he can do in the form of a fight. He might pop up and down to maybe do a little something, but it's not that interesting to me. So let's look elsewhere if we can and jump off this perspective.
Evermore versus Grim apa Ninja ini.
All the kills coming through. Boom's taking them down.
Break masih
It's
hidup,
gonna be the battle.
Break masih hidup ya.
As we still watch the
Ngekill apa dia?
fishes, please.
I'm loving what LG have done. They've kind of built themselves a little mini fortress out of a boat and a car.
People will just end up blowing them up. Break still in this, knocking out Curvy Llama. I think that's Gassy Mexican's partner, and there's Gassy Mexican to follow. That's the team down. Break is still in this. You can see on the kill feed. And there's the spray coming from the Vector at this point. Well done on the extended mag, up to 25. Very, very viable. And people are just dying left, right, and center. Vicstar finally goes down. A lot of longevity towards him. 35 players now remain. This is going to kick off. There's so many alive in such a small area. Every single angle contains a threat.
TSM, they know they've got bodies in front of them, so they can go and loot, but they don't have much time. 1 minute 30, and the blue will be on their back. They need to move in, but as they move in, there are going to be so many people just waiting in ambush to take them down. This team here, though, he's dead.
He's still alive. He's on the other side of those rocks. He will have to eventually move to them. But you can see Interroga wants this kill. They said they're aggressive. They said they have to make these plays, but do they know exactly where he is?
He's dead now.
Someone else found it.
Yang apa?
Ooh, okay, this is
Iya. No rem.
This is just back and forth. This is instant action. Covering fire coming through. Cloud9 getting the kills.
Ini kan komentator CSGO.
The other side of Noble is still alive.
Yang cewek katanya.
Slow side of the circle.
Betapa lincahnya dia anjing.
In a better position too.
Ngomong.
In the circle, good cover. Limited vision, sadly towards the north side, but south.
Cepet gitu loh mikirnya.
Borg, they're going to find Lex. Lex finally goes down, but he was on a high kill count as well, doing well. And you can see other teammates bleeding out. The walking wounded here. The blue's going to move in soon. I don't know if we're going to have time for a revive. You can see him crawling. Jared.
Kayaknya otak sama mulut duluan mulut deh itu. Otaknya belakangan anjing mikirnya.
The Lamb God himself. Known for his days in Power Gaming back in COD 4. We're going to see if he can maybe find some late game action. Jared getting revived, get back in. Only 5 bandages though. He's going to have to use them fast and get moving. The battle continues for Cloud9 as well.
Solid FPS, going to try and use these bandages, but unfortunately he can only do so much. There are several people right in his line of sight. He's looking for his teammate to give him some support, and he's right behind him. If he does fall, he might be able to get a pick up, but he sees 2 Interrogates on the hill. He tags him up, Interrogates pushed back now, and as you mentioned, Lauren, 28 alive, and this circle, well, he's getting very small, but there's still plenty of people alive in this late game.
Yeah, Interrogate's still fine. I like this position as him. He can define the fights that he's being pinched on at the moment, but you can see every shot comes through, everything counts, taking down armor, taking down helmets. It all very much counts, especially at 25 remaining. Ninja managed to take out Mazzarini. That's big. There's Ninja. Lovely control on the shots as well, forcing them to play him from the blue, just about giving himself enough time to run away. And you've got to be so precise in those fights because you give away your position. Stimmed up to the faster run as well. He's getting in. It looks as though Break's been taken down. Flom's doing the work, and his teammate's just been found too. This is so deadly. Mazzarini's teammate from the grave essentially is still trying to make this costly for the Luminosity guys. Mazzarini did finally go down outside of the blue zone, and the blue zone is claiming victims here.
Borg takes down MPR as well. Mithrin, oh, he's going to take down Strat. We'll see One Shot Girl also following that. This is where everything starts to get well. We're moving into the top 10. Chipsy will die. We saw Ninja walking away from his look. Go, mate, I am completely out of this one. And now they're all starting to get...
Apaan? Gue baru balik. Apaan?
Two players, they're about to meet one another. If they look to
Sisanya?
the left,
Ya, kayaknya sih ya kayak ini. 5 tim sama 1 ninja.
Wah, ninja sendiri.
Enggak, berarti 4 tim sama 4
Iya ninja sendiri. Ingat loh, lu duluan dari gua loh. Ntar next match gua ituin pakai Twitch sama naro linknya.
Generally good players with the right approach will play to a certain aspect. They play the slower side of the circle. They play to the terrain outside of this is the guy, this is my guy that I'm going to tip to be a very interesting factor down the line. His teammate's already gone, but he's playing the long game. He's playing the long con. Sweater might be in for some action pretty soon. I don't know if they're aware. Just off towards their northeast.
Sinen lagi jaga wilayah anjir.
They are safe for now.
Keep this one going through until we see several people that are sticking on board with Cloud9 again. They were doing the late game thing as we saw earlier on, just propped up in the houses, waiting for people to make a move. Interroga's over here.
They're so close. The two teams are literally just off.
Ya, jangan dong.
Can we take a moment to appreciate their positioning compared to the circle? Look at this. They are above everyone. They're up in the rocks. They have a sight line, and anyone that wants to make the way in, fair enough, there are a lot of trees below them.
This is the flank danger, though. This is what I was talking about with Cloud9. They can go up and
terjadi tersisa 11 live, Bung. Kita lihat. Tadi ada notif bahwa ada yang mati, kata Api. Oh, di Matu ada orang mati, ninja. Terbunuh oleh Liquid Scum. EKM pedih, Bung. Tersisa 10 orang sini. Kita lihat outsider. Mati nampaknya. Oh tidak, masih hidup. Oh, meninggal oleh NBL. NBL berhasil. 9 lagi, Bung, kita lihat. Posisinya lumayan bagus ini ya. Tim NBL nih ya. Ini tim basket apa tim PUBG, gue bingung anjir. NBL ini.
NBL NBA.
Oh iya ya. Udah dikit lah.
You can go for the revive. You've got to hope that someone else engages against Noble because they're making a lot of noise. You've got to hope that the other Cloud9 guys get involved and help you somehow. Going to try and provide themselves. Oh, and it looks like Cloud9 are going to be fighting against themselves here. Great play from these guys.
Menggunakan smoke untuk menjadi tameng, Bung. Kita lihat. Liquid sedang menyamar di batu. Sebelah kanan ada orang, tapi nampaknya masih ragu-ragu untuk nge-pick. Kita lihat 8 orang tersisa dan membiarkan saja nampaknya Liquid mencari aman. Mungkin itu sebagian dari strategi ya. Oke, kita lihat ada spoiler lagi. Ada yang bilang gila guys, berarti ada sesuatu yang terjadi nampaknya di beberapa detik ke depan. Kita lihat masih 8 orang. Masih lama, nampaknya sangat jauh ya. Twitch dengan YouTube. Oh, CP down. Iya. Wadaw. Oke, headshot, Bung. Tiba-tiba apa yang terjadi? Gila, responnya parah banget ya. Apaan sih? Responnya nggak normal anjing, bukan orang. Oh, di push, Bung. Oh, meninggal, Bung. Iya anjir. Kayak woi, apa kata dia? Woi, apa? Celtak. Mati. Tapi down itu ya. Kena headshot. Kita lihat 2 lawan 2, kita lihat. Posisi dua-duanya belum aman, tapi nampaknya lebih menguntungkan ke C9, Bung. Ini sisanya C9 lagi juga bukan ya? Bukan ya? Ih, si otak kita WTCN midrange. Nggak ada nama tim dia. Dan dia aman ya tadi. Tadi salah scene anjir. Oh my god. Lagi defend area, Pip. Susah, Pip. C9 susah banget. Oh my god. Tapi bom menentukan segalanya sih. Aduh, 2 detik lagi, Bung. Kita lihat apa yang akan dilakukan. Kita lihat. Oh my god, down, Bung. Kita lihat last orang terakhir. Kita lihat 2 lawan 1. Apakah yang akan terjadi? Dan boom, yang menang bukan C9 ternyata. Wadaw. WTC NN guys, dan juga temennya Midtrain. Midtrain live streamer bukan sih? Live streamer ya? Oke guys, gue bakalan pindah ke Twitch dan gue bakalan ngasih linknya nanti. So kita iklan dulu aja ya. Twitch. Lu tempat chatting ya? Bung Toel nampaknya ngasih link untuk Twitch, Bung. Oke, kita kasih Source. Set. Nah, udah gua kasih linknya di deskripsi. Oke, kita gedein. It was all about that rock fight, right? You locked at the top. It all kind of came down. 3 teams fighting for battle to make sure they controlled what they thought was the final circle. And the circle just says, "Okay, nope. We're going to switch things up a bit. We're going to take it down to the bottom. We're going to have to make you work for you." Warnetnya mantap ya, itu namanya Mega Warnet, guys. Itu terbaik ya. Warnet terbaik. Per jamnya itu $5 guys. But let's find out how that felt on the floor there over with Mythrain and the guys for the interview. Yes, I am here with Mythrain and WTC from team. Wah, pemenangnya nih. BTW ini masih ada 2 ronde lagi kalau kalian belum tahu ya. Totalnya itu 3 ronde. Ntar bakalan ada leaderboard. Jadi kayak yang kalian kalau main PUBG ada leaderboard kan, tapi itu kan satu session. Kalau ini cuma 3 match gitu loh. Jadi kalau lu udah menang pertama, lu sebisa mungkin jaga rank lu di atas, biar poinnya itu aman. Gak mesti menang juga gitu loh. Kemarin aja yang menang itu ya, terakhirnya dia ngejaga hidup itu di 10 besar, dan dia kejebak gitu loh di tebing, nggak bisa kemana-mana. Dia cuma nge-heal doang kerjaannya, tapi menang. Because we are a little close to the circle, safe zone, you know. Circle help us a lot of help us circle. And ada yang nanya dong, serius itu $5 per jam? Caya aja lu. Maaf guys kalau kalian dengar suara ingus ya. But that's why we're doing 3 matches. This is only the first one, and you got yourself a fair number of points, not just with the victory, but also with the total of 11 kills between the 2 of you. How likely do you think you're going to be able to replicate this outcome in the next 2 games? Yang gua bingung ini kan Battleground ya, PUBG, tapi di atasnya Final Fantasy itu loh. Nah, do you think you're going to get number 1 again?
Kayaknya sponsor, Pak.
Sponsornya game lain gitu. Apa anjing maksudnya? Game disponsorin game lain. Aduh, tisu.
Lihat kamera begitu berapa duit tuh?
Goceng lah.
Goceng.
Ini live streaming kok. Source-nya ada di deskripsi linknya. Kalian bisa nonton langsung ke sana. Atau kalau misalkan kalian mau langsung sambil nobar bareng gua bisa di sini. Bebas.
Nobar bareng gua.
Ya elah, nobar bareng, nonton bareng-bareng jadinya. Gila, bokong dari Blue Zone anjir. No scope, siap.
Gila itu tuh Iron Set lu ngerti gak tadi?
Iya itu M4 susah banget sih, Pip.
M4 Iron Set loh.
Kayak 11-12 gitu loh. Sama gua. Tuh, kasar. Waduh. Keren ya sinematiknya. Terus ini iklan anjir. Terus siap iklan anjir, ada iklannya.
sponsornya bakalan sirup marjan anjir.
Enggak lah, game lain kan. Oh, Intel sponsornya, anjir Intel dong. Wadaw. 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 Single kill save. Wah, anjir. Langsung sponsor anjir. Nvidia. Hebat. Terbaik anjir. Gue kira apa? Sponsornya GeForce, Intel. Ini apa lagi game lain nih? Sponsornya.
Soundcard nih. Apa dia?
Enggak tahu anjir. Layar kayak monitor. Anjir itu panjang banget anjir, karpet. Karpet terbang. Itu kayaknya 4K deh. 8K. 8K itu. Tuh kan monitor kan? Samsung siap. Ini apa lagi? Virtual reality. Oke. Ini iklan apa sih? Yang satu gede, yang satu kecil aja. Ya Allah, masih layar bang. Bangsat. Anjing. Nggak no komen.
Meja gua penuh anjir.
Itu nggak sekalian dicampur sirup marjan anjir tadi matanya. Kita ngeros iklan anjir. Tebak ini iklan apa? Headset. Tapi di atasnya ada pay save card anjir. Jual beli game kayaknya ini. Online payment ya kan, jual beli. Kayak Unipin gitu loh iklannya. Apa produknya? Iya, ngebedain layar wide sama biasa. Gue kira mah apa anjir? Gue kira mah virtual gitu kan. Wah, gila. Weh, punya gua nih. Weh, gua banget nih. Weh. Tolonglah. HyperX lah tolong kalau nonton. Iya enak emang Hypercold tuh. Bisa dicopot emang bener. Mantap. Kedengeran dari jauh apalagi ya Pip ya. Sering banget tuh gua. Udah denger duluan, bener. Tolonglah HyperX. Terbaik emang buat PUBG guys.
The middle of nowhere south of Gatka, so people will leave me alone. And
ini iklan apa? Tebak ini iklan apa? Bukan, ini wawancara bego. Wawancara. Ini C9 itu ya? Cloud9.
My favorite place to land is
Ninja Hattori.
Pochinki. Probably gonna be somewhere in the outskirts. Probably George. George is gonna give you a lot of loot. However, it has bordered
lagi ditanyain kalau turun di mana favoritnya.
Favorite place to land is probably the military base or the school. I like those fast action places and just go get right in there and fight everyone.
I'd say George was my favorite place to land.
Ini iya emang gitu.
Probably on the west coast. West coast is best coast.
Bisa ganti jadi Joker bego.
Iya sih. Mukanya jenis-jenis Joker gitu. Lempeng lonjong tegap gitu.
To control and it's a place I practice the most landing at.
Milita. My favorite place is Milta Power. Mansion.
Tulis di judulnya dong bang, kode sponsor. Wadaw. HyperX tolong sponsorin. Oh iya bener, tolong lah. Gue pakai nih. Gue copot nih.
My favorite place to land is military.
Tapi nggak ada iklan marjan ya, bingung gue.
Jari nggak ada ya, semuanya. Oh cakep loh dia.
Siapa?
Jari, DJ Ari.
Cewek.
Iya.
Kalau Ari di Indonesia sih cowok ya.
Kan pakai DJ depannya.
Lah, DJ cowok juga ada kali.
DJ Ari.
Ya, kurang banget sih. Terus kita harus nunggu 5 menit gitu. 4 menit 25 detik.
Ngobrol dulu dong sama subscriber.
Ya udah ngobrol lah. Gue nggak main nih. Gue sama Apip nobar jadinya. Kemarin sih kita nobar tapi setelah live. Kalau sekarang gue lagi nggak enak badan jadinya langsung begini. Gue udah punya PB, nanti kita hari Sabtu mabar ya. Waduh, jadi gue yang diatur nih. Gimana ya? Nyanyi bang, ya. Ada. Ada video baru guys, nyanyi loh. Di Instagram juga ada lagi loh, covernya beda lagi loh. Promosi. Tadi notifnya nggak masuk loh guys. Video barunya guys, sebagian doang yang masuk. Enggak, turnamennya belum habis. Ini 3 menit lagi bakalan ada ronde 2. Nanti bakal ada lagi sampai ronde 3. Ntar ada yang di leaderboard kayak akumulasinya gitu. Diambil juara 1, 2, 3 gitu loh. Besok berarti squad ya Pip ya.
Lebih seru lagi kok.
Apa?
Kalau squad lebih seru lagi.
Iyalah.
Tadi sih yang gak ngerti lagi gue tuh yang board anjir. Ditembakin tembak balik headshot anjir. Gila itu.
Kayak dia ganggu macan tidur gitu. Diganggu langsung diterkam itu. Kalau lu dikasih kesempatan lu milih duet sama siapa tuh? Sama siapa ya?
Sama Afif Yulistian lah.
Anjing. Terlalu biasa dong.
Kita bagian lawaknya dong tuh. Baru turun mati.
Goblok aja. Tapi gua kalau turnamen nggak bakal gitu mainnya Pip. Nggak bakal YOLO.
Iya udah tahan.
Gua turunnya dia nggak ada itunya loh, huniannya. Gua crafting aja. Dari pohon aja.
Crafting nggak tuh?
Lu tadi duduk di mana tok sama Apip? Kok nggak kelihatan? Gue di pojok kan guys, di warnet sebelah. Itu kan mega warnet tuh, gue di warnet sebelahnya tuh, yang murahan dikit. Satu menit 20 detik.
Anjay, itu menitnya di blue zone anjing atasnya.
Iya makanya. Blue zone 5 menit sih bete anjing.
Blue zone awal-awal berapa emang tau? 5 menit kan?
4 kayaknya. Grims nggak ikutan guys.
Iya kenapa dia nggak ikut ya?
Jauh kali Pip, ongkosnya nggak ada.
Kali dah, nggak mungkin ada nggak ada ongkos aja.
Summit ikut nggak coba?
Nggak ada Summit.
Tuh Summit nggak ada.
Nggak diundang apa ya toh?
One Shot Girl ada nggak ya?
Siapa One Shot Girl itu?
One Shot Girl ya live streamer.
Nggak tahu tuh gua.
Yang gede-gede siapa sih? Ninja. Grims. Yang pertama ya?
Disrespect tadi nggak ikut.
Enggak, yang paling pertama itu siapa sih? Lupa gua. Disrespect emang bukannya kedua Disrespect. Yang paling gede view-nya.
Yang paling gede view-nya kan Disrespect coy.
Emang iya?
30.000 ya.
Gue lupa anjir siapa sih yang setelah Disrespect siapa?
Welcome back to round number 2 here at Gamescom for the PlayerUnknown's Battleground.
Enggak, gua ngeliat yang 20.000 waktu itu. 20.000-an, 28 apa ya? Ya 28.000, bukan Grims deh ada. Apa Grims ya?
Yeah, no, and the area ended up on there was kind of crazy, right?
Ada tadi Bang one shot goal, ada berarti. Sama 5 step, oke. Short applied. Gue nggak tahu sih siapa-siapa aja yang ikut. Kemarin agak ketinggalan. Oh ya itu baru dibilangin ada one shot goal nih. One shot goal. One shot.
Playing before, but he's really turned up here and has a lovely ending to it all for him. But outside that, we saw a lot of action throughout.
Jangan-jangan pas gue ngomong lu ngeliat cowok lagi.
We saw a lot of the kind of more established teams making it a little bit further.
Yeah.
Playing it out as duos quite nicely. TSM were pretty undergeared throughout all of that, especially Break. I think he was quite vocal.
Peringkat 8 duo, oke.
You noticed that before when he had the Car 98, he didn't actually have a scope.
Nicknya one shot goal apa sih?
Certainly an issue there.
One thing I would like to say is the Cloud9 boys at the end, they knew, okay, well, we need to take control of this high ground. 100%. They have Noble there. They just eliminated Noble 9 times out of 10. This is kind of the better way to play.
Dia disponsorin Logitech. Lu mentang-mentang baru disponsorin ya. Pantat juga ya Anda ya.
It was late game. It was final few circles. Why let your teammate, why let the enemy get the team up? Rush them, the UMPs out, up close, up personal.
Kenapa dia disorot mulu ya? Gara-gara dia omongin kita nih disorot mulu nih. Tuh ngobrolnya asik gitu loh. Ece nih kemarin dia manggil Ece gitu loh.
Yeah, and just a quick side note as well. I know a lot of
Anjir
people
pakai headsetnya
worried
headset
about this,
gantung dong.
But we did switch on screen there that had the Twitch stream open, and that player was actually already dead. So again, that wasn't one of the players who were remaining. It wasn't one of the teammates, etc. But I'm pretty sure people are aware of it. Keep tabs on it. There's a lot of themes, so again, chill for now. Make sure we keep tabs on. Don't you worry.
Double.
Yeah, there's a
Biar kedap aja ya.
At their own stream, you know?
That's the thing as well with the players. Once they go out, they like to see what's going on. They've been, you know, they watch it. Everyone else in here, we're having a good time. But we are going to be rolling into game number 2 very, very shortly. Any predictions here? I mean, that circle. In fact, before we get any further, Panther, let's talk about that circle. It went up north. We saw people in the water. We saw people just chilling for a little bit, then coming through the beach. We saw people up in the hills that came down. A lot of cover, a lot of rocks, a lot of trees. Good final battle.
Nih guys, ini ciri-ciri warnet Amerika guys. Monitor melengkung semua. Kursi di atas DX Racing guys. Headset HyperCloud, HyperX, mouse Logitech, kayaknya. Ada facecamnya semua. Internet kencang, bisa live streaming. Terbaik pokoknya.
I don't know if that's going to change in the next couple of games going forward. I think you just broke my pen.
I did just break your pen. I'm sorry.
Why are you like this?
I'm going to buy you a new one.
These are my favorite pens as well.
I will literally buy you a new one.
I'm so angry. You can't buy these in Germany.
Bayangin kopet Octo Egi Apip di sana. Nggak kebayang gua mah. Nggak bisa balik kayaknya.
My pen every single day, and he's got.
Habis duit.
The other one survived at least.
Yes, that's in my hands.
All right, we're down onto the floor, where we do have an interview with Cameron. Cameron, how's the feeling down there, dude?
It's going great, and I am in fact joined by Cloud9 players Sweater and Borg, who did indeed get second place at the end of the last match. How disappointed are you because of that ending?
Not very disappointed. We're looking for really good placement here. Can't expect to win.
Ini Jerman tuh bukan Amerika, serius amat bosku. Betul, gue jawab ngasal. Jangan diseriusin dong.
Hayes, who even got bronze yesterday, didn't get a single like #1 top placing, but he still medaled after that. So second place is definitely a good spot if you can get similar positioning later on.
Ntar kalau gue ikut turnamennya gue bawa PC sendiri gitu guys.
Final engagement was a good 2-on-2. Remind me, how many kills did you get from that position?
Borg got a total of 8 kills. I was just an assisting player. I honestly didn't get a single kill, but.
And that's a perfect thread to go off of because this was actually mentioned on the stream as well when you're getting a lot of these kills.
Masih nge-restream tok?
Masih. Nunggu match kedua.
And a lot of times when stand-ins show up, of course, they're usually the weakest member of the team because if they weren't, they were already not on the team to begin with, yada yada yada, general storyline. But you're coming here and you're really making everyone like look at you and see that you are like actually a really good player.
Kalian berdua di sana nomor meja berapa? 101 guys.
What's it like playing with this team of the guys right now?
It's just amazing getting this opportunity to face a lot of good players at a big event like this. It's just amazing.
Banyak banget tuh PC-nya. Gua aja udah punya PC 3 monitor, udah bersyukur. Oh, itu bersyukur atau nyombong ya? Maaf ya. Kalau bersyukur itu gua aja udah punya monitor 14 inch misalkan. Itu udah bersyukur gitu loh. Apa adanya gitu, sederhana. Ini 3 monitor aja. Sombong banget. Gua aja 2 monitor, satunya kagak kepake, nggak ada tempat, gimana ya? Kok nggak ada bocah-bocah warnet? Oh beda, ini mega warnet jadi beda. Kalau mega warnet itu billingnya mahal guys. Itu kenapa nge-shoot puting sih bangsat?
Cloud9-nya toh.
Tapi kesel ya.
I feel like the information you gather from the third-person camera and the FOV it provides is the way to
Main bintang kok nggak main ya?
Way to counter players, that is. You can always fight them at first-person, third-person.
Yo, Samit, Green, Anthony, Dokter Disrespect, lirik, aduh.
Oh iya lirik tuh.
Lirik yang gara-gara kayaknya orang-orang itu gara-gara apa namanya? Invitational yang pertama udah main kali.
Nggak tahu.
Jadi jadi fit lagi.
Enggak, ini kalau start mereka 100 nggak sih?
Enggak, 80. Makanya gue
nah,
bingung.
makanya berarti nggak bisa datang.
Kemarin 74 toh. Tadi sekarang nambah 6 orang kan.
Mungkin dia datang pas squad, ya nggak sih?
Bisa jadi. Ini third-person semua apa? Sampai tanggal berapa sih? 26.
Gak tahu. Kayaknya dibagi 2 deh. Third person sama first person.
Ya misalnya first person berarti mungkin
ya
yang pemain third person ini nggak main lagi di first person.
Mungkin ya.
Iya.
Kayak ada rule-nya gitu ya.
Bisa.
Tiba-tiba PewDiePie ikut anjing di first person.
Wah,
terbaik udah. Langsung mati tuh orang.
Jago tadi nih.
Jago sih. Tapi tetap aja kan pengalamannya beda gitu. PewDiePie kan termasuk baru, cuman dia bakatnya bagus gitu loh.
Iya benar.
Punya bakat. Bakat gamers kan dia.
Kayak Shroud.
Live chat gua error, nggak mau turun otomatis, di close aja itunya. Pasti di HP kan itu. Di close YouTube-nya, terus lu pakai sistem yang bersihin cache, masuk lagi ke YouTube.
According to the rule set I have in front of me, it's top 4. That's duo day 2 top 4. 30k first, 22nd, 8 and then 4.
Iya, ada yang nggak bisa datang kan, memang bukan nggak di invite. Tuh guys, peringkat pertama WTCNN sama Midtrain. Skornya 544. Itu gabungan win point sama kill point guys. Yang kedua Cloud9 tuh. Totalnya 392. Ih jauh ya win pointnya. Rank 1 sama 2. Jauh parah anjir.
Kan jatuhnya kan sweater sama board kan jatuhnya.
Enggak, tapi rank 3 sama 4 sama dik.
Iya deh.
Terus rank 5 sama 6 sama. 7 sama 8 sama. 7 sampai 9 sama bahkan.
Kill poinnya kok pada sama ya?
Kalau kill point mah itu mah jumlah poin yang killnya aja. Tapi win pointnya sih.
Oh iya sih.
Jadi kayak
benar.
Ada yang sama gitu loh. Evermore
yang kocak tuh Evermore sama itu tuh misah jauh. Tuh tadi lihat gak?
Enggak.
Oh Evermore di Yasnaya, tujuannya di Zark gitu.
Ketiduran? Apa ngambil makan kayak Egi?
Tahu nih pikirannya gimana?
Kok di leaderboardnya ada PUBG 2 FPP ya? Jangan-jangan 4 hari dik. Besok duo first person. Ya kan menurut urutan?
Iya.
Oke. Semangat bang nonton aja disemangatin gitu. Kita nyari hiburan anjir.
First person sih yang ramai.
Kita ngelihatnya nggak first person soalnya. Iya. Kalau first person juga pusing paling.
Gue lebih suka first person malah.
Gue mah gara-gara pusing aja gerak-geraknya gitu. Mataku sakit. Tapi kelihatannya lebih dekat jadinya.
Sekarang kan udah di itu ya. Field of view-nya bisa di apa namanya dijauhin.
Oh, angel itunya.
Iya, field of view itu namanya FOV. Oh dulu emang iya tuh sakit kepala deket banget.
Siap dia denger musik anjir biar nggak stres.
Biar gak panik kan.
Iya. Guys, headset gua guys.
Why?
Tolonglah HyperX lah.
An SKS in his back pocket again, could be wrong, but that's something you do need to watch out for if you got a level 3, especially when you're playing in squads. If you got a man who's got a sniper and he's good with it, give him the level 3 helmet.
Dia ngobrol sebelahan tapi pakai Discord gitu loh, Dik.
Iya.
As Pansy mentioned, it's not going to be too much of an issue when you look at duos. Whatever weapon you need.
Maksudnya restream apaan? Restream itu nge-streaming kembali. Jadi kan orang-orang kadang-kadang nggak tahu ada apa, kita streamingin yang di-streamingin orang lain biar pada tahu gitu loh.
Itu aqua botol sampai 6.
Itu kencing manis itu, energy drink tuh banyak tuh.
Iya udah aqua 6 tuh.
Wah, kok cepetan lu ya, Dik ya?
Wah, refresh.
Aduh, gua kan lagi live stream.
Enggak, pause play lagi.
Emang bakal itu?
Iya, kayak nge-buffer lagi itu.
Emang ya?
Iya.
Coba gua pause dulu. Kok pas bagian begini ya, guys ya? Bagian cewek ya? Go play. Orang senyum-senyum sekarang yang gue lihat.
Iya.
Aduh, maaf. Mousepad bisa buat alas makan bang, bisa di sini. Serbet juga bisa. Gila, minumnya banyak banget ya. Oh, siapa nih?
Ya apa nih?
Main HP-nya. Terus dia nggak ngapa-ngapain. Pegang HP nggak ngapa-ngapain.
Kayak patung.
Kayak patung. Jangan-jangan manekin tadi. Tuh. Lagi nontonin dia sendiri. Senyum-senyum. Yang nonton ini berapa, Dik? Liatin deh.
Apa?
Ini yang nonton
112.000.
112.000.
They are incredible. He does these breakdown videos where he describes his findings. He'll test guns, he'll test armor, he'll boot up a custom game and work with his teammates to look at what's the best option. There's one in particular where he talks about spray pan.
Headset yang bagus apa, Bang? Minta saran yang CG pakai tuh. Lah kok buffering gua? Aduh, calon-calon lagi nih. Lu buffering nggak tadi?
Enggak.
Oh, berarti gua aja ya. Aduh.
Ini stode mana dah?
Gue lupa muka stode.
Enggak pernah diliatin mukanya dari kemarin.
Pojokan kali dia.
Tadi tiba-tiba mati di luar play zone aja.
Soalnya dia mainnya di itu, di yang murah, meja yang murah.
Meja yang kotor.
Lex and Flom have managed to break their PCs.
Oh.
Thank you, CS boys. I don't know how they manage it, but they have. So that's going to be fixed up as soon as I can imagine. Might just take a little bit longer to get this one started because of that. So.
Nggak kok buffnya dikit doang guys. Kayak 0, sekian gitu. Itu Glenn Juliver, panda obang.
Obang
Glenn Juliver aja. Panda Juliver obang.
Nonton apa?
Itu bukan nonton anjir, foto chat-chatan.
Kirain video.
Yang aneh-aneh ya. Bung Toil itu siapa? Si Apip tuh. Kalau lu join Discord gue itu si Apip itu.
No kind of me siding with a set of players as such, but compared to yesterday, we didn't see them get a win, but we saw 3 of their players up in the top 10. Like, you know, and now they're already in top 10 once again when we move on to duos. I really think overall, Liquid just seems like a really solid squad. I mean, in the previous one, Scoom, he made it really high up the ladder, and I believe he lost moment quite early on. I want to say maybe it's around the 40-50 kill mark, but he still carried on as a solo, made it all the way up, made it down to those final few circles, and again, that's why he's
itu apa dik? Alat pemotong rumput yang lagi di unboxing tadi.
Gak tahu. Tuh si itu tuh yang jenggotan. Kumisan. Squeeza.
Hah?
Squeeza itu teh yang kumisnya baplang.
Ini gua yang delay apa udah kelewat ya?
Enggak, sebelah orang yang ini.
Ntar harus cocokin detiknya lagi deh.
But love saying that name, don't you?
Is this the guy yesterday when we were watching him qualify that was just drilling people with the AK?
Well, he's one of the players, if you want to look him up on PUBG.me or any of them, it's 3T Butts. Joy, for example, on the EU
server, pakai sedis apa gue lupa deh. Tanya aja langsung.
Kalau nggak salah.
Ada yang nanya dong, ikut emangnya si Glenn. One shot goal. Apa?
Juli.
Yang mana?
One shot goal.
Gue nggak tahu nama aslinya. Dia kayak ngeliatin kamera itu.
Iya. Wih, mos dulu tuh.
Kemungkinan ada pemain Cloud9. Emang ada Cloud9 tadi rank 2. Cloud9 rank 2 tadi.
4 orang tadi Cloud9.
Iya, pasti 4 lah buat squadnya kan. Itu kenapa ngeliatin ini gitu? Abis nge-mushroom kayaknya deh. One shot goal. One shot
mulu nih kameramennya.
Dari tadi.
Weaponnya atau M249.
Itu favorit weapon.
Iya.
Serem juga dia.
Serem ya.
Nggak sembarangan.
The damage reduction is the main thing. It does, of course, limit your longevity. That's the only thing you discuss because obviously the durability will then shrink. So it's like, do I stick with it?
MK14 dong.
Baru keluar langsung favorit.
Iya. Itu cara nentuinnya gimana ya? Ngisi formulir.
Mungkin.
Crossbow gua.
You're expecting to get away with murder, which is very unlikely. The damage reduction is, goes up to 55%, so it's huge.
Narsis kali.
Iya, ini caster yang di CSGO guys. Namanya siapa dik?
Lupa. Cross. Bukan deh, crewnya.
Kalau nggak salah namanya Ceedah deh.
A little bit of preference to a degree, but not much. It's the durability isn't the massive factor when you go between ones and like 2s and 3s. It's the 40% damage reduction from 55 from the level 3. So it's like if you feel as though you need to go to that will give you a little bit more time to be able to return a fight or sustain through a fight. Because let's say you're
badan lu banget.
Durability or you're completely
shredded.
Ini
itu badan junk food
sure, look to a level 2 and maybe pick one up as you go along, ideally hoping.
Kalau gua terus-terusan bahaya ya kayak gitu kan.
Iya.
If you need a level 2 helmet or above, level 1, don't shoot them in the head. Go for the body shot. It's even when the people are knocked out, people rush for that kill if they're inexperienced, especially. So take your time. Go for the body shots if you need the head armor. Headshots if you need the body armor. It's pretty basic. Also shoot the legs as well.
Yeah, I mean, you see the amount of times people go down, you'll just see them like rushing in there. Okay, I want a free kill, but don't.
Ya monggo yang mau close dulu santai. Gue juga nggak tahu ini mulainya kapan.
Bentar lagi nih.
Iya bentar lagi, tapi kan kayak nggak ada comeback nggak tuh? Hitungan mundurnya.
Tunggu semua krunya nggak ada di komputer player yang pada pakai baju hitam.
Mereka ngapain sih? Ngepoin?
Pasti ada masalah.
One of your teammate flips the car and kills you. Who was it?
Siapa?
Gak kedengeran bego?
Ya.
Ya, ninjanya kelewat anjing suaranya.
Solid FPS. Yeah. Sweater.
Solid DPS.
Either myself or Chappie.
I think Stat is definitely the guy that does the most flipping.
Drifter.
Drifter. Drifter.
I had a name.
Drifter.
Drifter.
Joy.
It was definitely hotted. Absolutely hotted.
Forsen.
Beda-beda jawaban.
Probably me.
Oh dia ngakuin aja.
So if one of our teammates flipped the car and got us all killed, there's no question who it was. It was Muzel.
Muzel. Mitrain.
Tah, tau tadi.
It's me.
Yeah.
Probably Moleman. He's
It's me.
Ngaku anjing.
Definitely Moleman.
If the car gets flipped, it's definitely me who's driving.
Anjing ini siapa namanya? Yang kumisan?
Squeeza. Kumisnya palsu katanya.
Iya tapi
dia yang ngomong sendiri.
Iya tapi emang kelihatan gitu.
Iya.
Break. This.
Probably me.
Break.
Jared FPS.
Ngaku sih break.
Kenapa dia?
Jared.
Apa sih ini? Tim produksinya ini kreatif.
Apa sih tadi? Goblok.
The middle of nowhere south of Gatka, so people will leave me alone, and hopefully I don't end up scrambling to find a gun and everybody else has assault rifles and I've got a sickle.
My favorite place to land's got to be Pachinki.
If I'm playing solo and I just want kills, it's going to be school or military.
School,
if I'm playing
military.
More playing for the win, it's going to be something like
Pachinki.
Severny probably.
Severny.
My favorite place to land is
Pachinki.
Probably
Pachinki.
Probably somewhere in the outskirts.
Pastilah.
Probably George. George is going to give you a lot of loot. However, it has bordered
George.
walls.
Oh, ini temannya Kopet nih. Kok gini?
Favorite place to land is probably going to be
kenapa ini?
or the school.
Okay,
just best action places and just go get right in there and fight everyone.
I'd say Georgopol. Georgopol is my favorite place to land.
My favorite place to land would be Primorsk or Novo.
Roshnok, probably on the west coast. West coast is best coast. Make sure you go there. It's got all the best gear.
Far away from everybody so I can loot up and then go to the late game.
Military zone.
Right in the middle
Military
of
Yang military sih garis keras dik. Gua 3 tempat yang pasti sekolah, Pochinki sama prison. Udah.
Gua George Bush, sekolah sama military.
Pachinki.
Gua 4 military terakhir. Kalau nggak ada lagi 12 rumah.
Ini sih gua mah kalau nggak ada lagi apa? Cekungan, prison.
Iya prison. Gua prison, sekolah, Pochinki sama military. Kalau nggak bisa ke semuanya, pasti itu ke rumah 12. Pasti.
Pilihan terakhir.
Pilihan terakhir.
That you have one life, and if you make a mistake, it's
suara tweetnya kurang gede.
Variety of weapons and just how different every game is going to be.
The end game and how every game is a overtime round 9 situation whenever you get there.
Every match is different for the most part. Like a lot of events will be similar, but pretty much every match.
Ala sinematik tadi itu ada
No
glitchnya.
matter if it's game number 100 or 1000, it's every time exciting.
The competitive aspect of it and one team or one guy being alive at the end.
It can be intense at any second.
The amount of replayability it has, and the fact that it's an early access title that's getting updated consistently.
The action, you could jump straight in.
Buffering gua.
Yeah.
Shoot everybody. It's good fun.
I don't know. There's so much thrill to it.
1 detik gitu loh buffering.
You know, you never get the same battle more than once. There's always something new every time you go in.
How random it is. Every single game is different.
The adrenaline you get from winning a game.
The adrenaline rush you get in the top 10.
Outplaying your opponent.
Chicken dinner, of course.
Chicken dinner, of course. Iyalah bajunya winner chicken dinner anjing.
The best thing about PUBG is seeing these children drop to the school.
Ini orang Rusia apa?
Headshot. By Dublay.
Tapi dari logatnya Rusia aja.
My playstyle for the most part is somewhat more defensive.
Aggressive.
Arrogant.
I like to take things slow, safe, and
gua tahu nih siapa nih patokannya.
Positioning and going for.
Tahu banget nih gua siapa.
Apa? Slow apa?
Iya.
If I'm
slow
on a winning
save,
streak, I'm
oh.
playing
Yeah, slow
aggressive,
save,
I'm feeling
positioning.
it. Whereas all it takes is a few rough games where I get caught out or just the odds are against me, and I'll start playing much more passively and just trying to avoid those gunfights.
Gue semi-agresif sih anjir.
The entry fragger for our squads if we're like taking a building or something like that.
Probably very passive and strategic.
Aggressive, I'd say.
My playstyle, sporadic, headache-inducing, fast, but hopefully accurate.
Aggressive when I need to be.
Aggressive, kind of dominant. I like to intimidate.
Ini siapa namanya?
I
Yang
like to
kacamata?
let them know that I'm there. I
Cross.
just like to go after them.
Passive
Dan Lacrosse ya?
I like to take a tactical approach, so I like to put myself in a position before engaging fights.
Tactical.
My playstyle is pretty tactical, but then I rush people when I need to.
Very aggressive. Conservative in the beginning, and then super aggressive towards the end of the game.
Very tactical and silent.
My playstyle is very aggressive, though when this strategically is the right move, I also like to camp.
My playstyle is aggressive.
Very aggressive.
AFK.
AFK.
Well, that's clearly not an interview, so I'll take responsibility for that one. But we did see some interesting comments there. It's nice to also listen. I mean, we speak, Pansy, about the diversity of people that are obviously in this game, but the diversity of where people like to land and people's strategies, where they want to go. I'll go somewhere where no one's going to bother me and completely leave me alone. But
Kayak ini AWP God CSGO ikut nggak bakal sama anjir skillnya.
It was interesting.
Dia kalau pakai skill CSGO-nya nggak bakal bunuh orang kecuali dekat.
God lagi Kenny.
There is actually a person in ESL that does love to crash class, and it is a bit of a meme now.
Bukannya ada yang jago lagi ya?
Oliver Bricks, and he does a lot of social media, so if you do know Oliver Bricks, make sure you tell him that he's a terrible car driver and should never drive ever again.
And speaking of social media, use the hashtag Battlegrounds to let us know who you think is going to be walking away with today's win. We've already seen the first couple of games, well, should I say the first game go down, but a couple of very different players showing us some ability, and that's not a good sign, is it? Yeah, don't put the camera on it. Oh, good choice.
Pantat kata dia. Kalau in-game DC gitu gimana ya?
Udah tahu
aturannya.
Ini sekarang bisa reconnect
Oh iya juga sih.
It's going to be a fun day. We just got to stick by it, and in the meantime,
Mungkin karena itu dia berani bikin turnamen di.
Can possibly do.
We've already discussed the percentage values of armor. How much more do we have to go to here?
Should we talk about gun add-ons?
No.
No? You don't want to go down that road?
I'm not a wiki.
Oh, come on. You are, actually.
Well, it's because you can
Itu
just
ada yang
look it
pakai
up.
keyboard
No one cares
membran.
about the percentage change.
Written down. All right, then I'll tell you what. What's your favorite AR? Come on. And why?
AK with a
Itu billingnya mau habis, terbaik dong alasannya.
like
Nambah billing berarti tadi ya.
I like damage, but the M4 fully kitted is a monster weapon. Silencer and stock, the M4 is just. It's great for people like me who kind of can't aim, to be honest, because the AK does love to just reach for the sun and try and look for its own solar eclipse when you start shooting that thing. But this is when you get your players like Brick, for instance, who can control that spray.
Masukin ID passwordnya gitu.
It does a hell of a lot of damage per bullet, and if you can control the spray, you can keep your reticle over the person's body. The AK will just totally shred people. So I'm with you, but yeah, I'm not very good at aiming, so I'll go for something that has a bit more stability.
Yes, but people underestimate even just like the flash hider, because it actually does change recoil on the horizontal, vertical, and general. It just doesn't change the spread change.
Bukannya ada
quite as drastic. Like the recoil pattern change is nowhere near as much. It's like
dari kemarin
15% less, something like that. But essentially, it's still pretty good. People underestimate the flash hider, but you're seeing a lot of players here obviously picking it up on a regular basis. They just know how to do it. It's a habit now. You can see them dropping in. So hopefully, this is the one that will actually get it working out. And we will be seeing these guys dropping in. I'm not 100% sure. I just see the no. I got my hopes up.
We'll get 1000% confirmation.
Oke, Judul partnernya siapa bang? 5-step iya.
At the start.
Si 5-step.
But now we want to make sure that all the players are happy. Everyone's happy at home. Again, you guys, thank you so much for watching. No matter what platform you're watching out there. Obviously, people on Reddit, I was speaking to them earlier on, getting some feedback on what.
Aneh banget, headphone 2 biji. Itu yang satu kedap suara, guys.
Support, a lot of feedback, a lot of critiques. It's what we need.
Itu tuh kayak apa? Earphone drummer tuh.
Iya.
Itu anti aliasing, guys.
Enak banget tuh pakai earphone.
Anti moisturizing. Difficulting, heartbreaking. Tadi ada shroud katanya.
Well, it's one less thing to worry about at least. But everything else that goes on in those later circles, it's just
Main
as manic.
atau ada doang?
I think the big thing with PUBG is that it's a constant state of awareness. You can never actually let down your guard, which is always enjoyable. Like the amount of times you sit there and get frustrated at yourself.
Dia udah nyantai sekarang mah. Dia jadi stand in di Cloud9 CS.
Or you didn't enter it as, you know, with a smart idea of how to breach it as you should have, or how many times you get caught off guard. And it just makes you kind of constantly aware of what's happening around you. And while we're waiting, I'm going to have a look at the hashtag because you know what?
Jenggotnya keringetan nggak
There's
sih?
nothing else to do.
You want to get people involved. We did say earlier on, make sure you use the hashtag Battlegrounds.
We're still seeing a lot of TSM support out there.
Yes.
Break predominantly as well. But keep behind Hayes. I like seeing Hayes getting the support too.
Tweet your favorite player right now. Use the hashtag Battlegrounds on Twitter. And we'll see if Panzer can bring some of those up, and we'll see where people are actually leading to. We'll read them out live on stream while we are waiting on this game number 2. Once the server is go, we'll get the map up. We'll see where people are going to be dropping in. Interesting circle on the previous one. Obviously, aiming upwards, people down, unfortunately, and military. But again, we saw the late play coming in from certain players. Try and approach to it later on. Make sure you got the meds. Make sure you got the ammo. Unfortunately for some, it didn't work out as they were taken down upon arrival. I really do fancy a melee circle. We've not had one yet. We didn't get one yesterday. I would love it just to end smack bang on top of military base and just see how this whole thing goes down. Anything. We haven't really seen much melee action, which if you're playing at home, you usually do. Even for people going down there to look because of where the players have been. Do you think this is just how people are playing at this environment? They're not willing to kind of go out of the comfort zone, so to speak, and head down there. They just want to really play it safe and stay around the middle area.
Yeah, I just think that the reward system of not actually rewarding kills is going to discourage people from going for those plays. If you encourage people to stay alive, they're going to play for the low tier level loot in a slower aspect and just play the circles as best they can. I think if you increase value on kills, people might go for the slightly more risky plays because you need the gear to take the fights. You saw TSM playing away they wouldn't want to do because of that. So looking at this, we are seeing the people starting to tweet it out. We've got some Ninja fans, Break fans coming in. The dude with the thick mustache.
50 kali 5 Gamescom create
Thick Star still got a lot of support, but yeah, I've got to say, Break at the moment and the TSM guys are generally winning out here.
I'm looking forward to seeing what they're doing tomorrow. These are another team that very much say, all right, first person. We love a bit of first person. When you watch him Break stream, it's always first person. Him and Macleod just gunning people down left, right, and center. He's a very vocal man
dapat tas level 3 tuh.
Like we do with a couple of the other players. You know, we look at Liquid there the same.
Anjir, kalau lu ke sekolah pakai tas level 3 PUBG sih, terbaik. Ngelut di mana? Ngelut di mana tuh?
I'm really interested to see.
Enggak, dia dapat dari loot box. Dari supply.
Now we're going to try and back off from it, but again, you're not at home, you're not at your PC, you've not got your monitor, you've not got the rest of the kit and your environment. It's a totally different and open environment. And remember, it will be first person. And we're still, again, going to have, we had them today, we had people qualifying, they're going to qualify through, so there'll be even more people injected into this. It will be an 80-man event, and once again, the prize pool will be, I believe it was $64,000, which it's an insane amount of money.
Grim sering dituduh pakai aimbot, emang iya?
$60,000 for the next 2 days, and then we top it off with $100 tournament on the fourth and final day. That's insane.
Tapi aimnya
again, apologies guys if you are just wondering what we're waiting on. Just get aim run into the game. We don't want to be talking any more about this stuff more than you want to be hearing us talk about it. But we are at the mercy of the PCs working and everything getting into the right place and getting in game. It looks like a couple of them are loading up here, but
di sekolah pakai tas level 3 buat ngelut bullpen sama tip X anjing. Kalau lu kuliah ngelutnya korek guys.
Hopefully this time it all works. We get into this and get it started so we can stop filling air.
Yes,
ngelut korek sama itu amor rokok. Sebatang-sebatang gitu loh.
Everyone's playing on the server, everyone's locked in, no one's crashed or anything, and we've got the PCs
udah mulai nih.
So we just need to make sure it's fair and everything is locked and loaded, which this time round it looks like it is. 80 people are on the spawn island. Come on then, Pansy, hit me with a prediction here. Where's the circle gonna land? Give me a prediction.
Pasti tembak-tembakan ya.
Where's the first circle gonna go? What you feeling?
The first circle.
Kayak mustahil gitu loh. Lobby nggak ada tembakan.
Throw something out there. Let's get a random prediction. And if you do, I'll buy you a
pemainnya nggak bikin lucu. Nggak ada yang nyari follower.
This is not negotiable.
Gara-gara Grims pernah nggak sengaja alt tab terus ada note aimbot gitu. Emang iya?
Nggak tahu tuh kalau
gue nggak tahu juga.
We saw a little bit of the western side of Georgia Pool being tried out last time. I think that was the first kills that came in, to be fair. So you can see the risk of it. I know it was Serenity and Oshi dying. I can't remember who killed them. But again, it is risky if you go towards that side of things. That's why it is a little bit of a hot topic if you go there or not in these environments. I'd like to see it personally. But we've got 28 seconds, so where do you think the circle's going to go?
Well, oh, you're asking me now?
Yeah.
Where do I think? I am going to go polar opposite. I'm going to say where I want to see.
Paling enak sih ngadain turnamen online sih. Jadi kalau DC kayak gitu tanggung sendiri, tapi masalahnya kalau ada yang pakai cheat gitu loh. Cheatnya yang cerdas kayak wallhack sama aim yang berapa persen gitu. Aimbot yang berapa persen, bukan 100%.
No more talking nonsense. We can look where that plane's coming through. So let's have a look at the route. So relatively similar to what we had before, but slightly more cadence towards the north.
Yeah, indeed, it's going to be going at an angle, so we're moving in from Quarry. Pachinki's going to be there. Rossok's going to be right directly below it also. Stalbert, really, you don't need to be going for that.
Pakai cheat engine dong.
Accessible. People are going to be able to look for these initial early cars, make their way down to Sosnovka Island, move their way into military. You know, Lipolka is also going to be there as well. You can dive out in. I know you're a big fan of Lipolka, and people can even move down to Milta, but we were speaking about Milta earlier on, whether or not it's the right choice, whether or not there's really good escape options. We're seeing a big cluster of people here.
Spitek looting itu siapa pakai? Sama Kopet. Mereka berdua tuh pakai. Jadi kalau ada loot tuh ya, itu hilang guys, paling yang penting-pentingnya hilang tiba-tiba. Bahkan yang nggak penting pun hilang gitu loh. Dari atas diklik semua, semua gila. Pakai makro anjir. Ngelebar semua diklihat. Ninja aman di Primox.
Moving down to Primorsk. They're going to be on their own. Steve-O's over there, just not
mereka
too
mikir
far
gak ada yang
from
berani ke
the other two
Primox.
players of Luminosity Gaming. More than likely,
Pochin aja sepi tuh. Si 9 doang.
Didn't get a vehicle. Make their way down to military base. Is anybody over at school? I'm seeing a big. Here we go. So this is over at apartments, just opposite school there.
Lower tier loot, but everything counts at this point. You know you're going into a quick battle here. Hodded's here. We know he likes this as well. We're going to see basically the winners of the last game going for this one. So they've gone for the high action this time. High octane, they did get the kills before, so I'm not going to doubt them. Hodded just on the other side. If they catch a glimpse, they can adjust for it accordingly. I don't know if they've got a rifle yet. Pistol, of course, in one hand. It might be a rifle or shotgun in the others. So we'll see if WTCN can start delivering like he did before. But Mythra does need to get a little bit more loot to it. Maybe
kayak nggak merhatiin ada orang apa enggak gitu.
Tiba-tiba kenok aja satu.
Baru deh.
And of course, at this shooting at that range with the rifle, if you've got the AR, because
I'm happy seeing Georgia Pol being used this time. Good fun here. It looks like a bit of hospital play. Georgia Pol South Town. We're going to see maybe the crates used. We're seeing the long swing coming in here from Moondai. Not too surprising, that was very much within the range. You'll land a little early on it, but you can make it down towards the garages. But I think there might be one other team coming here as well, one towards Big Red. And yeah, there it is. WTC and did find hot.
Pakai headset apa bang? Sama kayak yang mereka pakai.
Pochinki aja nggak dimasukin tuh.
Iya. Padahal tadi ada Cloud9 tuh.
Woi,
alt tab woi. Alt tab woi. Ngaco anjing. Operatornya ngaco.
He's the first player, unfortunately, to be eliminated. We'll also see Obang working his way down to military. He's got his teammate in there as well, Tovilo. So look for these teams to potentially be matching each other rather soon. Two over at the garages. Yeah.
Not sure where this is. This is on Andy Pyro. So he's at school. So he's actually got great loot out of this. He's dominated this one. I don't know if there's anyone else challenge. That might be why it's good loot.
Si Andy Pyro sendirian.
Mati sih ya tapi.
Mati.
Itu kenapa ya matinya?
Beda tempat turun.
Gara-gara yang di apart.
Oh dia turun apart kali ya?
Oh my word, Vixter's gone. Ollie, yeah, these guys are getting found early. Maybe feeling a little more brave here. Going for slightly more audacious plays. And look at this, pinch it in here. Noble might be in trouble.
I think there were two other teams there as well. No, he's got his teammate out on the wall as well, but he's just been very aware, just moving back and forth.
I don't think it is his teammate on the wall. His teammate's way further away.
Masih live.
Yeah, it's not his teammate.
Baru yang kedua kok.
Baru yang kedua kok.
Yeah, that's my
point.
So this is
si Octonya masih live.
His teammate can get there quick enough because he doesn't know where the opponents are. He knows he's in trouble though. You can see right now Yunru spotted out their teammate trying to
bawa
come
begini.
out and now he's going to spot it out and make a call. This is where
Didiemin.
communication
Iya.
Gila itu.
Iya. Wow.
That was absolutely destroyed in the end. The noble guys are kicking off there.
Oh, siap.
Towards that power base and those shots coming out from the Korean guys.
Itu delay ya, Tok?
Outstanding. Yunru there played it so well. The range on that thing.
Gua 246, 245,
Gua 241.
They've dominated Melter.
239, 237.
Oke, beda 2 detik bentar. Gua pause. Terus gua play. 227, 226, 25, 24, 23. Oke, udah pas.
Itu double barrel bisa dapat knock ya. Kalau kita biasa nembak kayak gitu nggak knock.
Timing dia nembaknya Gi.
Sama server Gi.
So there was another team down
Dia nembaknya
there, so I'm curious if
enggak
they're actually gonna meet up. It
itu
looks like
loh.
they've gone for the
Enggak buru-buru gitu.
isolated
Dor.
office, and you can see Moonlight crossing over them. So we could have a battle going down in towards the industrial area. This is gonna be fun. I wonder if they split them out or not yet. They might see an open door at the ATC.
Enggak tahu tuh Rever Raka siapa.
Idea of what's happening if they get a giveaway, but they're splitting up.
Tahu
That
emang
makes me
siapa
nervous
sih?
seeing this. Moonlight's probably unaware, lost aiming, could be walking in all alone and get traded out here with absolutely no cost.
Oh, gara-gara di sini ya.
14 coy. Pelurunya 60 ya.
Kok bisa ngelihat itu ya? Gue baru tahu itu fiturnya.
Kan belum pernah.
Iya juga sih.
Gitu.
Belum nge-host lagi gue.
Yeah, I think this is playing out more like a standard game to a degree. People are taking the risks you'd expect. At the moment, though, I want to see if these two teams do eventually kind of collide. They could somehow avoid each other. That's certainly a possibility, but it's likely they're going to go towards Lost aiming on his own. But Novo's about to kick off. We need to head over there. LG are moving in on a group. I'm not sure who they're with, but there's going to be shots, and I think the call's been made. Yeah, shots have come in on the military island. Novo's about to kick off. Keep your eye on that kill feed, because that's going to be coming in any second now.
Stick with Moondive for a few seconds, see if this fight does advance. If not, we should definitely move over to Novo, because those players that were in cars, they're in vehicles.
Ingat guys, restream gini masih ada 2 hari lagi guys ke depan. Kemungkinan besar besok itu duo first person. Lusa itu squad.
Udah ada squad third person tadi ya?
Ada, malah justru squadnya third person.
Oh,
duonya yang FPP.
Duonya yang FPP.
I guess residential area, and if LG aren't aware, if they didn't see them on the way in, because they were the ones driving, they could be completely walking into a tracker and get caught out. A little undergeared too, level 1 helmet, no vest. Got a shotgun, got an Uzi, but he might be in trouble here if he gets spotted out, which they may be, but they're staying close, they're looting together, they're being pretty methodical, but this could be a huge issue if they aren't aware, because right on the other side,
kenapa dipindahin woi?
Kasar, dua-duanya tuh
mati dua-duanya. Sam LG tuh, LG temen
kemarin gitu ngeliatin protes nih chatman.
Masih protes sih.
Tiap ada perang,
tiap ada perang pindah coba, kurang ajar.
Who believes he's got someone in here, so he's just been very, very cautious, very careful. His teammates
Timnya ninja tadi ya?
Still,
pecahannya ninja.
Don't want to get too passive so early on. He's got a drone right behind him as well.
Bapak sudah kayak wah gitu.
Pindah kameranya.
Nah ini mythic nih tuh Adren sama
Enger.
Enger sama Adren. Tim CSGO aja.
One rifle at minimum, shotgun as well at the moment. Anyone pushing back in from George or maybe Zaki, anywhere like that, they're going to see out. And if there's anyone in town, wait, they're going to find their own teammates.
Lu kalau mau ngomong harus nonton dulu, Val.
Ini lagi nonton Octo.
Harus sama detikannya. Biar nyambung. Gila, masih ada yang di server nih cuy.
Lu gak lihat yang di itu Stalber.
Wave pertama cengli lah.
Lu pengen nyari si ini si Evermore, misah lagi nggak sama timnya?
Kemarin misah.
Tadi jam 1 dia misah jadi.
Wah, apaan tuh?
Nice work from Anger and the close too. That wasn't even the teammates either. This is Drifter who
Cross mati ya?
Cross dong. Mati. If he can get this done, that would be huge for him. I'm not sure what armor. Looks like a level 1 maybe. Level 1 up is going to be pretty tough. They weren't even expecting these players. They're waiting for their teammates almost to take them down. But Drifter now can he could do this.
Ada yang turun tuh kayaknya.
Real gets about it all. Why not? Why not make it tricky? But the third person will always favor the guys at the top of the stairs. If he doesn't have a nade, he knows he's going to be playing with a disadvantage. This could be smart from Drifter. Oh, that's lovely. Good tag. Nice work from Drifter. Goes out, gets the kill. That's his teammate avenged. That's good enough for him. What more can he do though?
Oh, di tangga.
Anxious there from Anger too.
Kelihatan dong.
Iya sih.
Di tangga lantai 3.
Tangga lantai 3.
Oh, itu bukan lantai 2 ya?
Oh, bukan yang ngikutin temannya tadi ya?
Harusnya sih dia lebih bagus dia turun ya dari atas ya.
Iya. Atau dia nggak tahu jam kerja.
Nggak mungkin anjir. Kayaknya terlalu cepet deh tadi turunnya. Kayak dia baru mau ke atas udah turun duluan kayaknya sih.
Temannya udah mati duluan.
Timingnya nggak tepat kayaknya.
Udah di atas dia.
Whether or not though it's just enough to at least get healed up, which is exactly what he's doing, he just got to keep an eye, because if Adren decides he wants to get aggressive with the AKM, he could. He's in a bit of a sticky situation. They're both in the opposite now. He's given Adren the better hand because it means Adren can actually get out. He just the window. Oh, was that the wall? I may have.
Whether it's from the window or from the wall, he's going to be taking out the tires.
Shotgun dia anjir, pelornya.
Pelornya. Itu ada pelor di apa? Astaga.
Pelor satu lagi.
We're going to see a trade out. A little nervous here. That's Adren going for his kill. Individually very skilled.
Ada pelor itu di meja.
Aduh.
Banyak pelornya ini.
Nembak. Dia aja pakai mic.
Emang sponsornya berak. Emang sponsor. Hey.
Berarti bagus HyperX.
Ngeles saya kayak baja ini orang.
Kemarin gue juga tahu sponsor HyperX kan gue duluan yang ngomong.
Ya toh
headsetnya nggak tahu tuh warna apa kuning. Tapi mic-nya yang dipakai itunya ya, HyperX-nya ya.
Soalnya sponsor.
Memang harus cuma dikalungin.
Balik lagi soal sponsor.
Kadang-kadang turnamen mah gitu semua.
Iya rata-rata ya.
Wah gila ini siapa nih?
Suaranya kagak ada.
And Yamanton. So 2 people going down. We're now down to 65 alive. Andy Pyro knows he
ya tolonglah HyperX ya.
There are people in this field right in front of him.
Bisa lah.
So again, we kind of saw it previous rounds with the rocks. The cover is here, but you've got to make sure that you have your back covered as well.
Bacot yang udah dapat Logitech masih mau HyperX ya.
It'll only come rest quite literally. If anyone else decides to
audio gameplaynya nggak kedengeran, kurang easy nih. Komentator bolehnya dikecilin bisa nggak? Lu kata ada fitur 2 audio di Twitch. Itu dari sananya guys. Nih, mau gua cobain. No. Gameplaynya makin kecil kan? Iya. Kalau kalian tahu arti RESTREAM sih kalian nggak bakal nanya seperti itu ya. Oh my god. Oh my god.
Sendiri dibunuh. Ya enggak setimnya, tapi kan satu tim mythic maksudnya.
Oh ini lu restream dari Twitch. Oh kena dong.
Every second that passes, his HP is getting lower and lower.
It's all this is going down, but they're still unfortunately inside the blue. Lex is still out, he's crawling inside. But look at this, he's not giving them any time or any room to breathe whatsoever. He's been super hyper aggressive, which is exactly what he did in his previous game. He doesn't want to let them get this team.
Cara main anak CS banget.
Dik 5-tet bukan?
Bukan Flom itu Kopet. Yang jenggotnya itu kan?
Lu lihat main si Adren cara CS banget mainnya hari.
Iya. Orang 4-4-nya basic
the sounds of his steps if he wants to rush. I'm curious as to how he's going to do this one now. It's still ticking. There's the med kit. So he does have HP to go to. They've got the revive in. They're both back up. Can he single-handedly destroy the hopes of his teammates here?
It's a big gamble, but if he does...
Dibawa kabur, bos.
Stick in there, I'll take your car. I'm just going to get out of here. Fair play to him. It doesn't... I mean,
bannya hilang satu ya?
It does damage, but looking outside the windows, probably going to get some shots off of it.
Yang tadi si shotgun nggak hancur ya?
Chase him away, but now these two guys have got to run. They've got to get
belakang kiri kalau nggak salah.
Nggak jadi hancur bukannya?
They're not too far off of it. Meanwhile,
kan nggak hancur aja.
Smack's gone down. You just saw that he's getting knocked down there, halfway through his HP. This is an awkward predicament here for Vis. How's he meant to get him alive? He's so far away from being able to pick him up. So it's all the way around, and there's so many teammates everywhere. Yeah, you can see the kills coming through on the kill feed. Vis is trying to get back to it, but Cloud9 on his heels.
Itu pasti yang udah dibunuh tuh pakai vehicle mati kena mobil itu.
Wah, sekarang si Evermore satu tim nggak bisa.
Tapi tetap jauh. Winner of last time with Mithrin as well. Again, that's a Kar98. Nicely led too. He could have maybe landed that one. You can see these players running in on the horizon. He's making these shots.
Apaan tuh nggak dipakai RDS ini?
Keren sih kelihatannya, tapi gimana ya?
Smack will fall. And that will leave unfortunately, on no scope on this Kar98, but as Andy mentioned, trying to lean those shots, trying to get a decent one. One player moving all the way to the outskirts there. Is he just, looking for a boat? Oh, one person is swimming though, as we see C9 try to take out another player. That's going to be solid FPS. Someone down in the water. You're hearing the bullets from his teammate as well. Two ARs though, one for long range and then one just to
parkirnya dua, dia sabi juga ya. Aman gitu.
Level 2 out of his mind. And they've also got a car. Should they feel the need, it's time to move the hell out of here.
Gak tahu deh. Mungkin squad.
Unfortunately, he's dead, so he is a solo right now. Panda 117 will knock out a player also. Probably going to be looking for that easy as he works his way down on the beachhead. And he's picked up a grip Panzer. He's got himself an M24.
Yeah, always nice to have. WTCN though, I think it's just found Lex. We saw that coming in. We saw those Kar98 shots coming through.
Yang nggak bisa gua apa-apain itu kalau suara in-game-nya minta digedein.
He left them without an option, no car to drive in with, and they're running through right into the eyes of the opponents that we knew were waiting for them on the other side.
Yang nggak bisa lu apa-apain tuh kalau minta bang pelor.
And there's Andy now trying to find his way around. Actually, there's a real good shot here for him to maybe get.
Itu mah kemarin, Bet.
Sekarang
masalahnya lain lagi, bang. Gameplaynya gedein. Gua bukan operator sana anjing. Wadah.
Sweater takes out TSM, comes in with the shot. Down you go, my friend. Viz is out.
Ini masih belum kelar dong dari tadi.
This one's kicking off. There's one team in front of him, and then he's got the M24 to his left-hand side. So he needs to make sure that if he pokes his head, and there it is, he comes up. Will he get the kill? Goes for the spray down. Silencer in it as well. Can he get in for it? He goes behind the tree. Yes, he does. He gets knocked out. So his teammate's still somewhere. I didn't actually see exactly where he is, so they need to be extremely careful. It's a big gun to lose if they take that out because. But he's got it. He's so diverse. I don't know where the teammate is over there by the tree. You can see him. There he is.
Wait.
Pandamu di sana. Tim Panda mati di sana selamat itu. Tim Panda.
And there's one by the shack as well.
Okay.
There's 3 teams here.
Oh, sama kayaknya ya. Yang dari batu sebelah kanan nggak bisa ngehit. Oh ya, nggak bisa ngehit si Panda ya. Tapi ada solid FPS di itu.
Di belakang tuh Panda.
Nggak, iya.
Mati.
Oh, mati tuh.
Ih, ada yang mati tuh. Kenapa tuh? Itu ada yang mati. Ada yang mati dua. Ada yang mati dua. Jadi yang mati itu bukan yang knocknya doang. Ada yang lain dua tadi mati.
Enggak, yang knock dimatiin sama Candy Pyro.
Ya, tapi setelah itu ada lagi dua.
Oh, yang dua.
Iya. Gua bukan bahas yang
Ini si Pandamu bisa di-tag dari solid FPS ini. Lihat tuh di kanan.
But he's also got to be careful because if he aims at one team,
masalahnya mana dia tahu Gi.
Picking him up, so it's not a great position. If he has smokes, the best solution may be to put them down and just try and run out of this area. The circle's not in his favor. He does have to at some point get out of there, so why not try it early on?
Looking over at the Noble side. Boom, managed to take down Evermore. So Evermore this time dying out quite early. Not able to pull off the same strat before it seems. Maybe the circles and the intention didn't work out as well. 55 now, good positioning from the Noble guys. Right
Central parah
in the
anjir.
center. I actually like this house. I think it's not the one with the additional garage
Dekat sama
on the
Liquid
side,
ini,
slightly
si
further
Boom
towards
sama
the,
Das ini.
well, I guess south side of this one, but there's going to be players everywhere. Players
Tumben
towards the
nggak
farm,
ada yang
got a
jauh.
bigger compound on its own. Third personing the windows, and yeah, this is what I expect
Tadi
from
ada yang
these
masih
guys.
di
This
laut,
is the smarter
Julia.
play. Most of the Noble guys are up to this, so it's a good idea.
Iya, yang
You've
jago
basically got
FK.
a lot around you to work with. It gets harder to get out of it once the shots come in, but they're still really well geared. They can take this fight. They can do what they want. Got a UMP in case needed. They don't have that much, 7.6 at the moment, but more than enough to work with. So this to me is a good position, very centralized, but it will be pretty hard to contest this. Okay, because he's going to walk into the trap though. The terrain could be a huge issue. He's just about to go past the Noble guys. They're going to unleash hell. That UAZ is taking hits, and so is he. Down half HP, he has 30 bullets in the clip that he can't use, and the SKS just spamming away on those shots. Got the 8 times on it as well. Standing on top of that
Berapa hit
logo.
lagi
He
meledak
knows
sih.
he's doing some damage here, but still, Prone's back down. He's giving away his position a fair amount.
Apa?
Doesn't want to outstay as well.
Udah.
Udah ya?
Udah setengah tadi.
Tuh, udah berapi malah.
So they are going to be able to stay alive and take a
Kayak sisa 2 hit AK juga meledak ya.
A little bit more interesting as people do get inside this circle. It's a very there's a lot of houses, a lot of compounds.
Bang, yang batuk suruh off Discord gua dong. Yang batuk suruh off Discord gua sendiri dong.
Yang batuk suruh
off Discord.
Kita berdua toh.
Iya.
You just gotta wait for them to get to you. We're gonna see some swimming here, all right? There's a lot of teams that need to get across this.
Julia TV
Still
masih
a stalemate situation happening on the rock side as well between some of the Cloud9 players.
Si Julia TV
tapi udah masuk blue zone.
One shot girl bukan kan?
Udah masuk
bukan
area.
Bukan.
Dia nunggu blue zone
Girl
gerak
one
lagi.
shot girl nickname-nya.
That might have been WTCN.
Angus.
I'm kind of curious if it was because he had the suppress. Sorry, excuse me, he had the Car 98 on him as well. Looked
Si
like
Julia kan nunggu blue zone gerak, abis itu jalan
but now
lagi.
we're going to see the run in kind of happening through here.
Ambil
But
tipis.
they should be relatively well set. They should be in a good. Yeah, it was WTCN moving out of that
Nice.
position.
My
But there's
host
other
sama
players close
nyari
by, and they
ngekill
gave
ya,
away
nyari
their
poin.
spot here. But he did shoot, if I'm not mistaken, with the Scar with the suppressor on it. So he's kept some of that positioning up in the air, not giving too much away. And he's going to play in late on this hill, which is a nice idea. You keep your eyes behind you towards the north. And yeah, there's WTCN. There's the buggy we saw going past. They're in good cover.
Masih ada yang di luar double.
Itu Stone Mountain ada ya?
Iya, syuting sama Stone.
Tapi jarang di shoot ya dia.
Iya makanya.
Well, he can use them as the buggy right down in the bloody coal mine. Just send him forward. Does anyone shoot at him? No. Okay, that's a safe route we can work with. As long as they don't lose eyes on him.
Translate kalau gua nggak translatein berbusa guys. Lihat, lihat, denger dong. Ngomongnya. Dar.
Satu hit lagi sekarang itu.
Iya. Kalau dia nge-pick sih, oke, dia nge-heal. Ditunggu, oke, kena dari kiri. Dar. Wow. Gils. Maipo, pangwao. Kebalik.
Julia TV
mati kayaknya di atas itu.
Sambil ngopi enak. Julia mati tuh.
Juga si Max meninggal. Merang
151.
144. Lu
empat
saja.
142.
40, 39, 38. 35, 34.
Juliper.
Oh iya.
Iya, si Glenn nih.
Kemarin ada si Octo nggak ya pas gua
Ada.
Dia harus nyebrang.
To go. Right now, Stone Mountain being caught outside the play zone. We have a lot of issues here, it seems.
A lot of people dying.
Unroot's finally gone down as well.
Unroot, Baba G knocks out Dashi as well. Baba G does get taken down himself by a 6M4.
Gua mau pencet M lu mau lihat map.
I like watching this guy because he's so awkward to hit. He will never stop moving, whether he's spamming QE, whether he's wazzing around.
Posisi boleh nih berdua.
Just about to say,
ternyata
these are one of these
dibokong.
players that you were talking about high end. No matter what, we've got a sniper rifle, he's just bobbing, weaving,
lihat
ducking,
di
diving,
rumah.
doing everything.
Dibokong di belakang ada anjir.
Iya, dari pantai.
Oh, 3 sih? 4 ya?
Empat orang di pantai. Di pantai di laut.
Oh, yang di belakang dia ya?
Iya.
There's a lot of problems coming
One,
through.
apa sih One Shot Girl sama Five Tap ada enak sih?
So right
Iya,
now we're going to see them
dalam
going back to
rumah.
the Rive here. Whitey Dude's just been knocked out, so
Pertanyaan, apakah akan selamat? Tidak, Bung, nampaknya.
Kabur ini nggak bisa.
Wasit.
Kalau udah kayak gitu, udah selamat lagi.
Nah, ini.
Pandamu nih. Kita lihat ada yang ngambang. Ada yang ngambang, dijaga, Bung. Apa yang terjadi? Siapa yang ngambang ya?
Bukan yang ngambang.
Gak tahu.
Kadang ngeliatnya sisa satu sih. Itu udah masuk zone itu.
Di sebelah kanan ada pada lihat ya. Tadi.
Gitu tuh jeleknya blue zone-nya udah masuk. Padahal udah masuk ini tapi kelihatannya kayak belum ya. Kalau di air.
Atau kebalik, Bet.
Belum tadi tuh.
Kayak udah deket.
Iya, kayak kemarin aja tuh. Jauh banget tuh.
Soalnya yang kita lihat blue zone dalam air.
Wah, banyak aman yang dari air, lu lihat. Lu lihat itu si bot.
Itu yang berdua.
Bener gak tuh? Adi Pyro yang di
Pyro yang tadi di.
Yang berdua gue bilang posisinya enak di sebelah kanan gitu. Tawuran ninja tuh.
Itu berempat.
Ini league sama itu sih kalau lihat ke pantai bisa ngeratain semua nih, jagain.
Si Liquid ini ya?
Iya, Skum sama Muhammad ini. Nah, lihat nih.
Katanya presenter kok ngomongnya dikit, siapa yang ngomong, Bos? Baca judul, Bos.
Wah, si Ais dapat kapal. Itu di kanan ada si itu dua orang. Dia ragu.
Dan di kursi.
Ya. Mana tuh?
Dari apa?
Bete nggak tuh?
Game of just keeping them
Dor.
into the water. That's going to be a problem
pakai
down
kar.
the line. You can't really play much out of it. But he's going to spot these players. This
M24,
is a huge coastline battle.
Iya,
It really will play so
Itu di
nice
kanan
if
kan ada
everyone-
Iya, langsung nyelam aja.
These guys play it out. We don't need to be involved.
Lu lihat tuh. Pada saling nyapa di dalam air.
Renang simulator.
Gila, itu rame banget. Lu lihat itu di bawah. Di belakang sih.
Dia orang gue berani jamin turnamen aja makanya mainnya kayak begini.
Mainnya main aman ya.
Iya, nyari nilai.
Now Hayes could do the quote unquote no one likes it grim style, crouch bug almost.
Gemes aja.
You can see I think he's looking for it there, but it's really I don't know if it's going to be allowed in this. I prove me wrong. I'm really not sure.
Ini si pandamu
But again, it is
siap naik
viable
turun
at
ini
this
dia.
point if you want to use
Tadinya ada yang
it.
ngetek dia maka naik.
This is why the coastline becomes interesting because there's a little bit of terrain to play with. There's some defilades, there's some bits and pieces you can make happen.
Pelor
But
cuma
mostly,
40.
I really don't want to be watching this guy just pinning people into the water.
Kalau
Please
kar
point
nggak
to us.
200 nggak jalan pelor itu ya.
In the camera shot
Jatanya
here, because at least they're playing it the way he
Ninja aja pelornya 200 lebih anjing.
Beda.
Ya udah, berarti gue sama dengan Ninja, thank you.
Dia 200 lebih. Karena yang dia bunuhin dia
Nah.
rugi kalau lu di.
Nah gini bedanya Kopet. Ninja pelor
Nyemplung
200
lagi
banyak.
dong.
Ninja pelor 200 banyak nge-kill. Gua pelor 200 banyak miss. Itu aja perbedaannya.
Sekarang di dalam mobil udah lu nggak bisa pakai first aid ya.
Bisa di dalam mobil mah. Gathering di laut.
Wah gila lu
Ntar
kecil
lu lihat ini kalau areanya nggak ada yang di laut, lu lihat nemunya gimana semuanya.
Kecil begini 34.
Rusuh banget aja lihat. Lihat rusuh banget itu ya.
Masih banyak orang.
Gila.
8 kali
Lihat
skor.
yang dari air.
Maklum anjir. Awam.
Lihat yang dari air. Lihat yang dari air ntar. Lu lihat yang dari alah nggak diliatin dong.
Kayak lele tau gak sih lu? Ke daratan.
Iya, lele ke daratan.
Panda Tovelo.
Kalau down di laut gimana yang ngerangkak gitu berenangnya?
Enggak ngerangkak.
Oh,
Lagi kemarin itu.
Lah, nggak diliatin mapnya tuh, kesel. Mapnya mati dong.
Kan masuk Judul mati.
Monsoon Girl juga mati.
Tuh,
Dengan set zone.
Waduh, galak.
Baru ngisi katanya dia darah.
Diledakin. Pelornya banyak.
Glenn.
Glenn jangan marah-marah Glenn.
Lagi ini dia pakai apa? Pukat harimau. Diledakin.
Nggak diliatin dong yang di kanan itu orang-orangnya toh. Oh diliatin enak.
Mereka semuanya auto lu men.
Dead from falling. Dead from falling dari mana tuh?
Itu dead from falling gimana caranya?
Di kapal juga bisa dead from falling loh by the way. Iya. Itu yang kena kok tuh nyelem.
Tuh nggak mati Kopet.
Emang nggak mati.
Gua kemarin lagi ngapain ya mati gitu langsung mati.
Kalau lu lagi di kapal mati.
Mati kalau di kapal ya?
Kena dropnya.
Wah, kenok boba.
Ditinggal.
Nice Ruski.
Mantep banget spray downnya. Wah lihat.
Wah, yang di air nih.
Belakangnya.
Perlindungannya motor anjing.
Iya.
Wah anjir, ini sih yang gue bilang toh. Ini dia toh.
1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 12 tai dah.
50%.
Enggak itu 60% anjir. Lebih. Tuh.
Udah kebayang kan ntar naik ke atas.
75% sekarang.
Itu naik ke atas tuh udah pada sekarat semua yang di laut.
Jagoin mana? Gue jagoin ninja sebenarnya, cuman gimana ya?
Kena nyangkut. Ngebling ya dia ke depan tadi.
Mulu si ninja dapatnya.
Pip, ini lu ya Pip.
Ya hack lah.
Ini lu yang mainnya Pip.
Si Reval itu.
Si Andi Pyro lihat darahnya anjing.
Dikit banget.
He somehow managing to stay alive. He does lose the water over there, but they're all treading on a very fine line here.
Dia siap-siap naik motor. Malah mundur dulu dong.
Soalnya nggak.
4 orang ya?
5. Ninja mati nggak sih?
Lihat itu yang berlima ngumpul anjing.
Oh itu 7 toh. 8 9 kayaknya.
Si Bingis kan udah jaga aman toh, jaga area.
Ninja knock.
Ninja kan knock.
This is what I expected from him on like day 1, day 2. This guy is a beast. All right, so they're dying out of the water. They're just accepting their fate. And now he's going to try and blow up basically the car. It is going to take a while with the UMP.
Oh, ninja mati.
Also coming in, outside has been killed. His teammate just goes down. He has been
ya, bokong-bokong semua.
Di bokong aja.
Nice banget.
In from the more northern side. Going to get the drop towards Dad.
Udah bisa menang ini. Satu yang itu temannya si Yunron.
Ya, loncat dia.
Teman ninja ya.
Mati. Oh. Gila.
Masih sama granat.
Yuki, gila Yuki.
Yang ngebokong 2 orang tadi ya, yang bunuh
dia. Yang punya granat 4 biji. LG Ninja tuh orang 7. Pemenang sebelumnya siapa tadi? Matt. Aduh.
PTCNN.
Itu ada yang cewek yang main tuh berdua. Pada berantem tuh. Ada yang 2 berantem tuh.
Lu nggak denger gua sih.
Ya kan ada di sana lu nggak denger tuh WTCNN.
Masih di atas. Oh. Beda 4. Ya, beda 4 anjir. Ninja rank 6. 400 tapi dia harus rank 1 anjir.
Kalau ada Anthony.
Password gue sama Fighter 14 ya.
Ini Anthony 100% deh main.
Gue main 100% mau muntah gue.
Field of view-nya gedein, Pen.
Oh ada 4 ya? Ada 4 ya?
Option PUBG kan ada.
Ini kualifikasinya 4 ya? Itu 4 tuh bacanya.
Emang kan itunya gitu, duo FPP, squad, solo, duo.
Jadi yang ini berapa match nih?
Tiganya sama kayak kemarin 3. Kemarin 3.
Itu Yonrut ya, yang kanan.
Itu yang menang tuh kemarin tuh ya Yonrut.
Oh, Korea. Oh ya, yang menang itu ya.
Iya. Berarti kemarin 2 orang ya Korea ya. Ini kapan nih jadi SEA Games ya Indonesia masuk ya?
SEA Game nggak tuh? SEA Game-nya main game aja.
Pada kuesnya semua nih toh.
Iya.
WC dulu.
Lihat aja energy drinknya berapa biji.
Gila ya.
Si Rina pakai bracer.
Wah, Chief Pet nih yang kirim. A brand new video and brand new Clash Royale video.
How is this feeling for you? You came in from the qualifiers. Did you expect to get first place against all these teams like of such prestige that they got invited here?
Well, honestly, the minimum we have planned is to be qualified.
Semua tindiknya dilepas-lepas dong sama dia. Lihat dulu lubang mukanya. Cuma satu yang enggak.
And show good moves. That's better. But the main goal was to be qualified, and really, well, right now we have done the great move, and we can hope maybe for a good place.
Yeah, I mean you've made a name for yourself already.
Sebelahnya Final Fantasy 14 dong. Battle Arena Final Fantasy.
Udah dibahas anjir dari tadi. Jadi PUBG disponsorinya sama Final Fantasy deh. Game sponsorin game gitu loh.
Just went to sleep and we prefer to focus on this tournament instead of doing the qualifier and maybe not even being qualified. But play 4 hours for the qualifiers and then again 4 hours for the main. So we just focus on this one.
No, it is definitely important to make sure that you're not tiring yourself out. You're already in this event, and I keep bringing it back to it, but you got first place, so that definitely shows something. Are you planning on trying to qualify for squads, or is it just the 2 of you doing duos?
Well, actually, he got a team, and I've got another one. But the thing is, when I started playing with him. I watched him on stream, then we started playing together, and we did some duo tournaments. And the fact is that
dan mereka kenalan dari streamer gitu loh.
Iya.
Because we really
main bareng.
Kenapa kayak jodoh gitu ya?
Iya, mereka kok kayak saling suka gitu ya.
Senyum-senyumnya tuh senyum tai kucing anjing gitu.
Lihat tuh, tatapan senyum gitu ya
Iya, menjijikan anjir.
Pengen gua sepakin satu-satu kalau ketemu.
Itu muka Cipet sih lebih ngeselin soalnya.
Kapal Pride.
And if you know Battlegrounds, if you've watched enough, you know that anyone who is in the water, they're safe for a while, but once they try and come out, it's just a complete bloodbath. Were you guys part of that bloodbath? Were you taking them out, or were you guys more waiting until the end and just pounce when you knew you could get the win?
Actually, we asked ourselves, do we have to go in the water or not? Finally, he called me to stop in the house next to the water, so in the yellow house, then in the bigger house. And we just wait there, and it was the good call. But yeah, I'm not the kind to get into water often because it's too dangerous at the end. Really, so there's most likely only 1 or 2
gantian apa ngomong
goes out of water and
si Cipet mah gitu emang.
Dia senyum-senyum aja dalam hati, bangsat nih dibeberin semua katanya busuk kayak gue.
Now again on the circle though. Is this area like around just like little west?
Intinya dia ngomong tuh guys, dia ngomentarin kalau misalkan dia masuk ke air itu sangat berbahaya, jadi dia lebih milih enggak gitu loh. Intinya itu.
Karena itu yang bisa didengar tadi ya toh.
Iya itu dong.
Itu dong, yang lainnya nggak kedengaran jelas.
Habisnya ngeros semua anjir.
Honestly, it was out of the box for us. We really don't like the beach.
Tuh, dia ngomong out of the box, berarti di luar kotak. Kalau di dalam kotak serah.
Nah, jadi dia ngomong tuh kita coba untuk out of the box, nggak mainstream. Dan kita nggak juga begitu suka sama pantai kata dia gitu.
Betul. Ya romantis banget ya.
Dia nggak ngomong nih. Gaji buta mentang-mentang dia yang carry-in dah. Nggak ngomong anjing. Nggak ngomong.
Narsis doang.
Peace doang. Lihat. Ya. Tosnya. Hampir ngambang. Kata dia, ya tosnya gue. Hey, tos dong. Anjing nggak ngomong bangke dah. Padahal dia yang carry-in loh. Dipijet dong, Pet.
Enggak, yang carry-in yang kiri toh.
Iya, yang carry-in yang kiri.
Yang ngomong.
Kok di YouTube
yang nggak ngomong.
Yang nggak ngomong.
Yang nggak ngomong.
Oh, ini Mobile Legends.
Yang nge-carry-in yang nggak ngomong, Gi.
Yang nge-carry-in yang ngomong.
Yang nggak ngomong.
SKS-nya lihat nggak tuh?
Oh loh.
Masa sih? Gak bisa dimundurin lagi.
Wah gila, gua nggak bohong sih. Main spraynya
si Egi.
Main spraynya imba-imba. Ini one shot kill ya? Bukan.
Pak nanya gitu amat.
Server juga ngaruh.
Spray downnya keren-keren sih.
Sama kayak gue tuh.
Tai.
Sama kayak Apip yang pas lagi kenokin lu gitu lu toh.
Jepret.
Kayak baru kenal tuh toh, baru kenal takut ngaku tuh.
Iya, pantat emang.
Takut ngaku dia baru kenal. Wih, toh kita kapan begitu tuh naik motor di belakang pakai Uzi toh.
Inget, udah pernah waktu itu mobil salto meledak. Kayak film-film. Terus di depan lu nabrak. Bodoh aja.
Wah, enak pokernya dari belakang.
Ini iklan Nvidia asal lu tahu.
Iya, tahu kok. Tuh, single kill save.
Udah gua roast tadi. Tolong lah Nvidia lah.
Gua udah lihat dari kemarin.
Gua pakai 1060 nih, 6 GB. Mahal, tolong.
Seri.
Tolong lah. Ya, gua pakainya iChill.
Tebak guys, ini iklan apa?
TV, gua udah tahu TV. Udah lihat kemarin.
Monitor, TV.
Ya, monitor.
Abis ini ada yang lebih awkward lagi anjir.
Apa ya? Gue lupa. Saya abis kelar Max kemarin gua tonton di iklannya semua toh.
Yang abis ini lucu.
Masih ada lanjutan.
Yang abis ini lucu.
Kalau ini iklan TV berarti ini Samsung dong.
Emang
sponsornya Samsung.
Iya.
Abis ini nih. Nah ini.
Ini
gitu banget sih.
Ini bangke banget sumpah.
Gua kira iklan virtual itu loh. VR gitu.
Padahal
bukan anjing.
Bangke banget.
Iya. Terbaik iklannya. Ini Unipinnya orang luar nih.
Kata nggak perlu pakai kartu kredit ya toh? Iya ya.
Ke Indomaret aja. Apa kayak voucher time zone ya?
Tuh, no bank account or credit.
Mobile Legend namanya Mobile Legend Bang Bang ya?
Iya.
Iya.
MLBB. Headset gua nih, tolong lah.
Nah, pas ini yang gua tanya kemarin toh. HyperX lu HyperX apa? Karena ini tuh gua tanya.
Sama.
Makanya gua tanya kemarin.
Cloud 2.
Itu Cloud 2 juga.
Iya.
Tadi beda namanya.
Beda Cloud Alpha ini toh.
Sama lah, gue juga begitu bentuknya semuanya.
Enggak toh, beda di besinya.
Beda besinya.
Anjing besinya doang.
Ya tapi isinya juga lah.
Iya, besinya ada bolong-bolongnya ya?
Iya.
Ya, beda dikit doang dah.
5 menit Q&A.
Gua ganti galon dulu. 5 menit lagi, ini 4 menit ya, 38 detik lagi bakalan ada match ketiga, match terakhir kayaknya. So stay tune aja guys, stay tune. Atau mau yang main dulu keluar nggak apa-apa, bebas gitu loh. Mau tidur gitu, silakan.
Menit, mereka pada ngerokok dulu.
Ngerokok dong bosku.
Mau ngerokok dulu katanya. Oh makan dulu. Ada beng-beng no, sono ada beng-beng. Afif, Yulis, emak dulu. Octoramonth. Tik 2. Afif, Yulis, dia 2. Besok gue naikin ini ya. Mobile Legend ya?
Nggak boleh.
Terus siapa lagi? Virar Instagramnya aja kali ya?
YouTube-nya kan ada.
YouTube-nya juga ada.
YouTube-nya ada deh. Apa sih namanya?
RL.
Ngomong-ngomong link dia mah. Si Viral masih SMA ya?
Kuliah Bapak.
Kuliah.
Oh ini 22 Juni 2019.
Masih 2 menit ya?
Videonya itu mah.
Virar itu pasti.
Kenapa viral sih, kesel gue?
Iya.
Instagram.
Vira RL gitu loh.
Viral kan.
Viral.
Oh lu nggak pakai facecam toh?
Ya enggak lah. Orang restream. Aduh mata gua kemasukan. Minyak kayu putih masuk ke mata gua anjing. Fuck.
Pinter kan?
Enak tuh.
Sehat toh.
Oh my god.
Sehat anjing. Biar terang mata lu toh.
Gua lagi
terang mata lu.
Gua lagi ngasih layar gua biar nggak batuk terus anjir. Agak anget kan, enak. Aduh nangis gua. Oh my god. Wah, langsung sehat gue nih.
Pip.
Anjing perih banget ya.
Kalau yang dari Google buat link dibikin pendek itu apa ya namanya?
Short link, short URL.
Dari
Iya.
Itu keluarnya Google ya?
Iya.
Yang punya Google kan ya?
Google. 20 detik lagi guys.
Sehat toh?
Mata gua
langsung hilang ngantuk itu toh.
Kayaknya dua-duanya deh. Khasiat kayu putih di mata bagus gak sih?
Bagus.
Apa dia membersihkan gitu ya?
Membersihkan mata toh memang.
Oke, ntar gua pakai deh dua.
Jadi kalau mata lu kotor jadi putih toh.
Fuck lah.
Yang sampai yang hitam-hitamnya juga jadi putih toh.
Gua buta dong goblok. Kenapa nggak sekalian itu aja? apa sih? Fresh ya? Fresh apa sih? Bhaskara ya.
Invitational 27. We are now moving into game number 3 of our third person's duo event.
Playernya pada Q&A dulu aja.
Lawrence Scott tuh namanya guys. Lawrence Scott. Sama Richard Sim.
No.
They're now just coming out of the blue and showing these guys how it's done.
Well, they were never in the blue. You know, they were one of the teams that actually weren't in the water.
She's good.
But no, yeah, we're seeing great things coming out from the teams who've qualified here. We saw Outsider and Butts doing very well. They're also within the top 10 currently. Great seeing the other teams coming in as well and just showing that this is a tournament where anyone can do well in it if they turn up and they play the right style. They went through the qualifiers, of course, doing well enough there.
Bagus tuh mic-nya HyperX tuh. Yang ini, yang dipakai player.
Itu bukan HyperX aja.
Enggak bocor.
Yang dipakai cewek toh. Yang dipakai cowok mah, yang cowok yang pakai itu sakit telinga anjir. Lihat sekecil itu.
Macam Glenn Juliver yang ngomong.
Bukan si Julia deh. Gak terlalu bocor gitu.
Also, the trajectory of the plane
Julia
can change
everything
completely. You can have an intention, you can have an idea, but as said, you've got to be able to be adaptable on the fly and be able to change things up.
Okay, well, we're going to get this server rocking and rolling as soon as possible, guys. Had a little few glitches and hitches earlier on, but enough about that. There's everything on the line. We saw a couple of tweets coming out from some of the players ranking where their positioning is. There's still a lot to play for. This is anybody's game. We saw yesterday in the solos, a lot of players were putting themselves up by constantly finishing in the top 3, the top 4, and making themselves kind of away from the pack, so to speak. But I tell you what, now there is a very close battle at that top end. Could we potentially be seeing a team that has just qualified, that have just come out of the blue, and they're now at the top? Who knows? Will we see TSM up there? Will we see Luminosity? Will we see Cloud? Liquid? One of those guys be bagging themselves a win for their respectable.
Sendiri dia itu ya.
Very, very
Siapa?
Itu tadi ada yang pakai facecam.
Banyak yang bawa facecam sendiri.
However, a little bit of a slow one towards the end, complete diversity to what we've seen in comparison to any other matches, I want to say. But still a great game coming out of the winners of that one. Just kind of holding back for a second, holding the ground and saying, okay, I'll approach this when it's the right time. I'll come in at the very, very end and just clean up duty, mopped it up.
Yeah, I'm just glad we didn't see one of the water teams actually winning it. If I'm honest, you know, it is viable. It gets you to a high position. I understand why people do it, but it doesn't mean that we enjoy watching it, right? It's just like, well, it's a bit cheesy. So for me, I prefer seeing the teams who play outside of it, who play the north side. It was good seeing Daz and the Noble team playing how
I thought they were going to win it.
Yeah, me too, but they got flanked. It was a really good reposition coming in from the guys who qualified to come to this. So great work from them. WTCN and Mithrain still maintaining that first place though overall.
44 kill points as well. We'll look down the board, 32 and 32.
Kemarin gue ngomong gimana ya judul Mobile Legends ya, gue lupa.
Pretty sure this is just the first game, isn't it?
Yeah, I think
yes, that's just the first game. That doesn't include the second round. So that's just recapping what we already saw. TSM still up there, of course. Overall tournament should be different because it will include the other guys. WTCM will still be very much up there. They had a very good game in the second, still very high on the kills. You saw them ruining some people's hopes and dreams. I think Hotted actually was at the end suffering from them. He got completely destroyed by a shot from the apartment to the school with an AK with no scope on it. So that was really, really impressive actually from WTC and the teammates. So I think Hotted tweet that out so you can get it on his Twitter.
But you can also on the opposing
ini
side.
Mereka pakai internet di sana. Emang berapa ya internet di sana ya?
LAN dia.
LAN.
Ini
juga kan ID-nya bukan ID mereka, bukan ID Steam.
Nggak, maksudnya live streaming Twitch ya?
Something around that market.
Oh.
Internet live streaming ya.
Udah pasti mantep lah di sana malah.
1 giga per second lah kira-kira.
So when people are nearly at that range, hey, anything's possible. But we are going to be going into game number 3 very, very shortly. Thank you guys at home for sticking with us.
Baru tuh HyperX ya.
It's an absolute pleasure to bring you
masih ada plastik.
For the next 2 days. Also, make sure you tweet and also tweet us your thoughts, who you're gunning for out there, and use the hashtag Battlegrounds. But for now, we're going to go down into the pit where Cameron.
Oh, bikin snapgram dulu tuh cewek-cewek tuh. Hai guys, aku lagi di turnamen.
Wow.
From team Never Lucky. Do you two want to introduce yourselves?
Mancung ya? Tindikan lagi.
Yeah, I mean, pretty much clarifies it in the name really. We're
Mancung
team
banget
Never
tuh maju
Lucky,
ke
and
depan.
guess what? We're never ever lucky.
Gede lagi.
Hidungnya. Cocoknya pakai baju Doraemon dia, matanya gede kayak Doraemon.
I used to play Hearthstone. I used to cry about never being lucky, so it kind of fits.
Bisa nggak komentarnya yang lebih lazim?
Oh iya. What's it like being surrounded by a number of other streamers as well, but also playing with esports pros? How is that experience?
I mean, it's definitely a little bit strange because this isn't something that I would usually be in.
Tulisannya aja mat bobo tuh. Wadaw.
Aduh, main mata tuh.
Tuh mat bobo tuh.
Bobo anjing.
Well, I mean, I played top 100
langsung dicari nih.
solo and this is
Egi langsung.
like the level is
378 poin.
incredible. Like,
Kok dia nggak ada weapon mati duluan?
Itu favorit weapon.
Oh.
Berarti dia favoritnya nggak pakai senjata, Pep.
Iya.
I mean, I've been streaming Battlegrounds since it was in the beta.
Fleksibel kalau dia.
What excites you about Battlegrounds? What brings you into Battlegrounds as compared to any other game? You said yourself that you used to be a Hearthstone streamer. What is it about Battlegrounds that makes you keeps drawing you back to that game?
I guess with Battlegrounds and with games of its type, it kind of gives you this adrenaline feeling when you're in the final kind of circle, and I like that feeling about it. And I like that you don't have to be the best player to reach that final circle. There's still like an RNG element, and as well as a skill kind of part.
Yeah, I
Tuh
mean,
kan komentarnya langsung kan.
CS:GO deathmatch where everything
Gede bet dah, nyembul apa coba.
Nyembul. It's probably the reason I'm sticking around. There's so many more strategies that aren't even found yet that could be really, really good, and it's interesting to see how the game will develop.
Yeah, all right. Well, I wish both of you good luck on the next match, and let you go back to computers, get set up, because we're about to go back into the final game number 3 of third-person duos at Gamescom.
Yang cewek bajunya labang baju TP. TP dong.
juga ya, bener. Iya bener. Logo TP itu.
Who are you gunning for? Who are you backing? Who are you supporting? Pansy does have Twitter open. Make sure you
guys, screenshot bagian tadi guys, mundurin dikit. Tag TP ya. Tag kita sama TP ya.
Bener juga ya.
Make sure you tweet the stream. Make sure you use hashtag.
Buset, gede banget.
Let's get a ridiculous amount of viewership once again. Let's send this
langsung kasih hashtag TP plagiat.
Yeah, it should be a good, and I think we're seeing some good play so far. I think obviously I'm a little tilted after the last one closed out. I'm not gonna lie to you. I play this game myself, and you said it's like really that's how it ends. But we got to see some great plays. Good to see WTC and Mithrain really coming into their own. They've been outstanding for me. Great to see the guys who just turned up. What a Cinderella story for them. They've just pocketed a great deal of cash too if they really grind out this last game. So for me overall, it's super imperative that they play it well and play it smart. But this is when they will get nervous, they will get a little scared. You don't want to make errors. You just want to place well. But this could also encourage the players who need kills as well and good position.
And look at him. There's Victor, very happy. They're just right behind. We believe they're just right behind us on the wall. So there's quite a lot of support here for these guys as well. We were looking earlier on at the Twitter feed and stuff. Quite a lot of support there out there. The content creators and the YouTubers, and of course Twitch streamers, everybody else. And this kind of, I know we keep repeating it, but it really is a celebration of everybody. We haven't just
jarang pakai TS sih kalau begini.
Discord semua.
Kalau PB nggak tahu deh, TS kayak.
Let people from the floor just jump on in. They've got to go through the rankings, and the same thing for tomorrow. There's 62,000.
Dua orang lagi mana dua orang? Ketinggalan nih.
Oh iya, mana ya?
Ngambil makan, gue yakin.
Dia 80 orang.
Nah, udah.
Start counting.
Udah masuk.
Nah, counting nih harusnya.
There are some very nice
BG raffle maksudnya apaan sih itu?
Giveaway.
Lihat, 1080 Ti, 50 kali 5 kali.
Syaratnya banyak di 24.
Apa syaratnya?
Follow IG, follow Twitter, subscribe YouTube, Facebook.
Terus pada ngetik raffle tuh kenapa?
2 seconds.
Minta link kali.
I hope we get just somewhere slap bang in the middle of a field, so we get
dapat TP. Dapat TP layar.
pool party play coming in. We've had it all.
Tuh dapat tas level 3 tuh. Ngelut bullpen sama tip X aja. Di kuliahan ngelutnya
ada medals juga anjing.
Nah, ini nih. Ini nih. Kabilek. Dua helm.
Level 1 oh level 2 helmet.
Helmet maksudnya? Dapat helm level 2.
Masa dapat helm cetok anjing?
Gua tolak anjing ketilang bego.
Helm level 1 lah, lebih berguna.
Level 1 masih bisa
PUBG. Bodoh amat. Surat hilang cepat keluar loh.
Helm level 3 gua ambil dah.
Pesawatnya pasti enak lagi.
Jangan kok bahaya toh. Kan cuma cyclops itu doang.
Helm level 1 motor, helm level 2 perang apa helm tentara. Helm level 3 helm kelas.
Tukang las.
Ninja tuh. Banyakan ninja.
Mainnya rumah kecil tuh yang dekat ninja mainnya rumah kecil.
Evermore lihat tuh ke atas.
Sendiri ya Evermore.
Bertiga itu total berempat total di atas Evermore. Wah keren banget itu lihatnya.
Ninja, Severny, Evermore sama kok bertiga sih itu?
Iya Evermore.
Kok bertiga sih?
Nyisa lagi tuh kayaknya.
Temennya dia siapa sih?
Juan.
Oh enggak berempat tuh ya. Berapa titik sih itu? 3 titik itu.
3 kayaknya.
Iya tuh 3 titik. Evermore.
4.
Siapa teman si itu? Evermore.
Yuan.
You could easily split the military base between two teams and they kind of polarize it. We'll see where they choose. Mazzarini heading towards that big red apartment side, it seems, with his teammate. And OC7 maybe go towards Industrial. They can go towards Novo. They could split that far. There's loads and loads of options available for these guys, depending on how they want to play it. Again, looking around him, it does seem as though these guys will be getting the apartments under wraps. That's theirs for the taking now.
I like what they did though. Obviously, take a look around, make sure that no one's.
Kita lihat siapa yang mati pertama, Bu.
Headshot. Within the top 10. Him losing out this early is a massive
outsider yang harus mati dong.
So again, that could then hinder their entire run through this tournament.
Yang tadi rank 2.
Steps into gear now.
Well, he hasn't actually fallen yet. Fully.
Ada kesempatan berarti ya buat yang lain. Tadi kebanyakan ngomong sih. Temennya si Yuki bukan sih outsider?
Bukan ya. Yuki kan yang rank 1.
Oh iya.
Buset, itu ngejot kemana itu dia orang berdua?
Ada klip of
Rozok sekolah kosong.
Evermore lihat aja
sendiri tuh, lihat timnya di mana, di Jodul.
Itu triknya dia kayaknya. Dia keseringan solo di squad kayaknya.
Itu temennya gimana ya? Maksudnya memang udah di ngomongin
dari tadi, Pet. Emang kayak gitu ya.
Bisa game 2 nyatu tadi.
Di ngomongin pacar apa gimana?
Evermore gini tipe mainnya, tipe main ngendok bertahan itu, tipe main
zone.
Yang penting bertahan 10 besar aja dia.
Evermore, it might be in some trouble here. Have a look at this.
Evermore
Oli and the boys going to run up on them eventually. I'm curious if that happens.
Itu si Oli sama itu ke arah Evermore dong.
A bit of a battle down towards the Milton Bridge as well. Cloud9 getting a little bit of a glimpse on the cars kind of going through there. That's going to be Sweater keeping tabs on this one. But yeah, this is very, very busy in an area that isn't normally this rife. But you can see everyone trying to get these compounds. A couple of shotguns. That's pretty bold, just letting them fly. Maybe trying to get a connection or two. And it was him down to 3 left in the chamber. And now he's going to go back, maybe get some high ground, hope for a little more loot.
Try and scare him off, or his teammate Sweater will move up
dia juga sendiri nih.
Enggak, C9 tadi temannya di atas
lagi naik mobil.
Oh, tadi temennya naik mobil.
Just generally wandering around, going to move in the US because the compound's completely done, including the garage. But
si Cross, aduh,
Cross mati boy.
Excuse me.
Ya, tim pertama ya.
Si Flom.
Tim pertama boy.
Chase, there's so much sometimes to left to be said to chase a kill, you know, rather than just let them get away with it, try and live again, just hunt them down, pressure them. When they're that low health, not only obviously they're going to fall easy, but you do get a little bit shaky, a little bit, you know, a bit concerned, and things do go wrong for you, and you can easily make mistakes. They advanced on that, they take down one squad.
Yang AFK kok nggak ada tuh? Waduh, masih nanya tuh yang AFK.
You've got a good split. They've all kind of claimed their own ground though at the moment.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5 teams.
And here we go over towards the more eastern side. Oh, Break's going to be into an issue. Moondie's here as well. There's not enough loot for two teams, but where Moondie currently is slightly better off, but I don't know what weapons they have cover-wise as well. We'll keep eyes on that. He's marking it down. He knows they're there. Good intuition as well. Good team play, making sure they keep it marked, keep the communication going, because you don't want to get caught out here. They can break off, excuse the pun, and go down towards Melton if they want. And yeah, you're seeing them silhouetting on the horizon there. Good stop from Drake and the boys. They're going to try and readjust.
You love to see it. Put a marker down, call to your teammate. That's exactly where they are. Make sure you've got your back to them and just running away from them. Make sure they don't have any kind of sight line on you. A couple of shots coming from the SKS as well as we move on board with Chappie, just scaring him away or trying to get a random shot if he could. Solid FPS. Right next to him as well, just on the horizon. Both guys moving up. We're going to put a red dot down once it gives him some kind of sight. Will he go for the YOLO shot? Yes, he will. Trying to crack some off. Leans forward, but unfortunately doesn't find any connection whatsoever.
Ini dia sendirian. Temennya lagi naik mobil tuh.
Mati tuh yang di atas. Evermore mati kayaknya.
Evermore mati.
And especially for the players in towards George, towards the west, that sort of thing, you've got to start looking at getting cars. Luminosity, it's expected to see the more experienced players and people like that getting in towards the cars, getting that sort of theory into mind, starting to move across the map.
Tadi perasaan di Severny kan ngelut.
Yang disorot bukan ninja ini temennya.
Kayak ngelut secukupnya doang gitu langsung cabut ya. Oh ini si Chip Z yang sorot. Iya masih ninja. Berarti itu dia tuh dari Severny.
Si ninja yang nyetir.
Oh mau ke mention dia orang.
No, I'm wondering how the military-based battle's going down because Ocean
Kira supply.
Well, they've had a rough time so far. They've mostly found
supply juga deket situ dia tuh. Memang mau ke supply.
Kanan, woi belok.
Udah ngeliat tadi. Memang nggak diambil.
Takutnya rame kan ya.
Ya udah lihat tadi.
Padahal kalau turnamen menurut gua supply jarang disamperin kecuali.
Gua kira ada musuh.
Sama gua pikir musuh juga tadi.
Very close to the circle, but they will eventually need to move.
Kalau Egi ditembak tuh pasti sampai mati. Pernah soalnya itu. Abis ngebunuh buat tiarap ngehil di
ninja dia ninja. Baru nyampe.
Tags up one, so that player will be healing up as well. He does have his teammate with them, so if he did go down, he could have at least clawed him back. However, his teammate's in a good angle.
Dia di Severny ngelut miskin
amat together as a little squad and try and get multiple angles. There's only one real place they can go, right? But look at them, Luminosity healed up, but they're just looking outside the windows. This is going to be a battle who finds their head first. Now we do have an 8x scope in play there. Smoke's going to go down, so it's probably going to push back. Just trying to see where they are kind of perpendicular to them. So they're getting aggressive on them.
Yeah, it's going to allow them to cross to the main mansion building, or at least the side mansion building, and get visual on it. You've got good windows to play from, you've got cover. But again, you know, let's be honest, Ninja and the guys don't need a reason to play out. They're still pretty comfortable there.
Ceweknya yang komentator kayak main PUBG juga ya.
Enggak, dia komentator CSGO.
Kita tahu banget gitu, maksudnya lokasinya di mention.
Pasti riset dulu pet dia.
Depends who gets the engagement properly off here, but again, I want to say, if you're going to put money on it, you put it on the guys inside the mansion, far better cover. But they're just
dia jaga di balkon dong, si Chip sama Ninja.
Udah tiduran semua. Gampang sih mereka tinggal denger step doang.
Balkon bawah dong.
Pakai balkon atas sama bawah toh.
Balkon bawah sih gua nggak berani.
Baca chat dulu nih, baca chat.
FPS besok berapa? Duo. Besok duo. Kalah kemungkinan besar.
Borg sisa sendiri.
One of Cloud9's players, I'm pretty sure. It's only Borg here at the moment, so this could be quite tricky. But we saw Borg was playing pretty well before. But looking at Leon here, although
Cross sudah mati timnya pertama kali.
76 Hayata.
Not going mad. Maybe I am.
Bahasa apa ya dia?
See if he can get anything done.
Jerman gitu.
Yeah, exactly.
Auto aja otomatis tadi.
So that got a bit awkward, but you can see the Running away, but yeah, it's basically try and find a compound that's safe, get ready for the circle, and lock yourself in, because this is going to be a long game. Still 36 alive yet, your teammates just left. You guys get in the car, please, as there's fire coming in. Good position from Borg again. His teammates on the way back to help him, but you've got to be a little careful here, and you can see Ninja still just prone down.
I mean, there's no point in running out, right? Oh, here we go. So try and crack some shots. Like we said before, there's a man who loves to shoot long range. If he sees a this time, don't want to give away his position, which I suppose is fair play, because he's already got to remember that he's got two people behind him. If they hear an engagement coming across from these people, they might think, well, it's time to move, but neither of these two rosters wanting to make any advancement whatsoever. Ninja's team currently, I think they are top 6, so a win for them.
Waduh.
Wah,
Glenn. Glenn, tidak Glenn.
Really well as well, made it to the top 2, lost out to Yunru in the end. So he's got some real ability. Don't ride him out. He's got to go in and finish the kill. You know he wants to as well. This is on the edge of Naya right now. Cleanly done, looks for the trade out, is expecting a push to come back in. Julia behind, but going to be uncomfortable for her to try and cross out of there. That wall is not easy to get through, so she might have to go all the way around. Where's the teammate? In the garage area. So that's the next bit of the puzzle. Sequisha is safe for now.
Ini si Julia beda tim ya?
Oh, sama. Nice crouch jump coming out from Sequisha. Really well played.
I like what you caught for it as well, because if you can't do that, you have to run all the way front here on the police station, then go all the way back around just to get into the bigger library, so to speak, that is actually behind it. Bullet comes in, hits the pan, but unfortunately, he will fall just as it happens. That's Mehop Wango.
Ratabu!
Finish off the Noble boys, playing up to what they said previously. The pan, kind of did its job for one bully, but unfortunately, he's just too good. Idaculus comes in, finishes it off, and he will also get the revival on his teammate as well.
There's people not far off. There's so many players close by. They're going to hear these shots coming through as well. You can see just over in the hangar almost area, Yunroot's there. They're not exactly going to be playing too aggressive, I can imagine, but look, here we go. Develo has finally spread out. I can imagine that's Sequisha and Julia at the moment, because that was the opposing team on the other side. Decent gear too on this guy. Gets the UMP out. Good shot, actually.
Naik ke atas tembakannya. Headshot.
Auto now ready to rumble.
Tadi di burst tuh, lupa di ini.
Lupa di auto.
Again, using third person very well here, trying to just position so he can see when she crosses back over to probably go for the revive. Gives it a second or two. Check to see if she's pushing close on that northeastern side. No, she's going for the revive. He's going to go probably now, I'd say. No, he's working his way in slowly, but this is smart from Julia, actually. She's taking her time as well, not rushing it, no need to just yet, because you know Develo is now getting closer and closer and closer. She just wants the fight. She wants it. She wants this over and done. She's going to have to get it done now. Both on full auto. We've got the AK up against the UMP. She engages first, but she's half HP. Not iron sighting in either. Just over the shoulder shooting almost at this point. And he's toying with her. He can see the shadow peeking as well on the right side. He's going to back off and look for good shot from Julia, but he still gets away.
That could be enough though, just to allow him to get Sequisha up. Excuse me, allow her to get Sequisha up, should I say? But he's coming back in. He's moving in again, and he's going to be that Does he take her down? No, he doesn't. He gets his himself. 2 kills in the back here.
Temennya Glenn bisa napas.
Amazing work from him. Aggression came out, but then again, when you're the last man standing, what else are you going to do? You might as well go for it. He knew he was applying so much pressure, and he did go through with it. Seals the deal and takes them both down.
Credit where it's due though, Sequisha and Julia played that really well. I think, if anything, you've got to be a little bit more decisive, but she was half HP. There's no easy way to win that situation. But let's look at how you're seeing Borg play this out. You can tell he's a first-person player, right? He's peeking that as if he's looking for the angles that can only be seen, with an advantage to him. But right now, we are seeing kills come through, but knockouts mostly with shotguns, still very viable for taking these buildings. You kind of need it.
Does looking in place, sees a player around the corner, goes in, takes him out as well. So that's 2 down. Noble as well in the kill feed.
Yang kemarin menang nih,
more kills, so now we're into his top 66. King taking out 1 shot, also Yunru bagging himself some kills. These guys are playing really well. Super good confidence every single time you see them approach a building. They're now they're going to go in. Pre-firing already, you saw around the corners. We
nabrak.
2 people diving out of the US. He's got the pin though, as he keeps laying, and all of a sudden that US
mobilnya mundur lagi.
Give them a little bit more of a view.
Oh, the US running away from him is always pretty awkward, but the knockout does come through. That M16A4 doing the work he needs. falling off this a little bit, looking to readjust, not overcommit from this.
Dia knockout siapa ini?
Itu yang tadi. Mati.
Ditembak sama yang lain lagi.
Dan dapat kill.
So break goes down. That's one of the many hitters now, losing out, being anywhere near that top 20 even. Still 64 alive here. You can see those 4 times, the 8 times all going to work. Now this becomes scary.
And that comes off the back of what Noble have been doing. They've decided, okay, we need to get center circle here. We need to get a compound. We need to get set up. And that's exactly what they're doing. Meanwhile, speaking of TSM, Smack gets a kill of his own. He'll take down Shaka with the Scar. Moving forward, his teammates right in tow behind him. That's going to be Vis. Looking at the crit. Let's see what else they got in here. His little body. Does he have anything good?
Turun ternyata resolusinya bangke.
Very, very nice. Level 3 military vest also. So that's a great kill for him. That's some really big upgrades there.
Yeah, let's have a look at the overview map if we can. Check in where the circle's going to be going towards what we have in front of us here. And have a little look through.
Itu orang yang lu panggil Glenn, kalau dianya tahu malu kali dipanggil Glenn, Bang. Aduh.
Temennya Evermore masih di Jord. Terus jalan lagi.
Terbaik.
Memang strategi mereka kayak gitu, pejuang blue zone. Strateginya pejuang blue zone ternyata.
He does have the M4 with him. He's on the other side against a couple of players who are giving away their spot, but he's not in a great advantage.
Ini kayaknya yang dilawan si Yondro 2 orang beda deh.
Yang di luar tadi ya.
Satu di balik tembok soalnya.
He needs to help his teammate out though because there is 2 in there, I believe. In fact, no, one of them's actually going to bail out
beda.
Looking over the wall there. Will he be able to see that player though from where he is? The UAS is there if he needs to just bail and get the hell out, but at the moment he's just keeping an eye. Hop on board with
hampir mati.
Killing Kapowski's POV. He's got jump back to Sweater for a second. Watching the angle, watching the corner, doing the 3 peek, making sure no one's down there. I would suggest that he probably knows someone's here with him. Otherwise, he won't be so cautious. Yes, it's going to be Borg who takes out Moo with an AKM. He's knocked him down. Here comes the
Si Sweater dia resolusinya.
This is the man, obviously, they shipped in. When unfortunately, Crunch couldn't come in. There's a third person as well.
He needs to land. He's like,
terbaik.
To be a beast, give us some 7.62, and I am just loving watching this. Interrogate again. You can see the Noble guys are very much still in this battle. We're still seeing a lot of the bigger players still in this. Looks like a break restart for that one. A bit of a shame for him. I can imagine frustrating. At the end of the day, we're still seeing the Noble guys alive in this. We're seeing a lot of the Korean team. Ooh, good connection. Perfect, but good enough.
Drills it upstairs. There are going to be 2 players up there now, and he knows it as well, and that's why he's standing his ground. His teammates with him, right above him. So they're both just eyeing down on these windows, on these doors. Anyone to make the first move, and they're just going to get completely lit up. But
itu sama anjir.
He's got his teammate, you know, if they want to step out themselves, it's a bit of a problem. It's a Mexican standoff right now because whoever steps outside the door, unfortunately, will be dying straight away. But they do have an option to run out the back and try and get away. Dink comes in. No time is a foul. Straight through the window. They cooked it, but it didn't find
Jadwal lempar bomnya ya.
Itu kalau dia nahan lebih lama bisa pas tuh. Waduh.
Wah, gila timing.
Lempar. Kalau lempar ini sendiri dia.
Untung nggak kayak gue ya. Baru buka pematuknya.
They can, and you can see this guy trying to close the doors, keep this one safe. But there's no backing away. He needs to take a final one, give them a reason to be busy, otherwise one will push. He can go for a revive, maybe. But the tick of the nade, and the throw comes in. It's a good throw as well.
Waduh. Oh enggak si Yondro tuh lagi nih.
That's going to at least take down one. He might need to for a little bit more to double check the other player got taken down. He didn't.
Enggak kok masih full. Dia udah tahu kayaknya langsung cabut.
And he fell off it in a smart way of playing. But so far,
gila itu di Primos.
Masih ada anjir. Gila itu lebih jauh ternyata.
To the teeth.
He needs to have plenty because that is a long way to go, and we're going to move into some seriously damaging circles very, very soon. They need to get a card. They need to get the hell out of there and get the really just on the way. Hayes and his teammate Ollie, they're going to be working their way up in a boat. Also, they're going to come in from that shore side.
I'm curious how good their gear is because they work that northeastern side. They took down Evermore, for example, but the problem is that there's not much to be seen. Now, that's why I saw a level 1 helmet, level 2 vest, level 1 vest. They're going for a long haul. They're playing longevity games here. So keep an eye on the fuel as well. They've got a decent amount of fuel. They might just play this. They could honestly put the boat out here, just sit outside of it, play back in late. I wouldn't actually blame him for it. Mazzarini still alive as well. Oh, shots coming in on the heels. Which window is going to be containing the player that's been absolutely drilling you? Got to be careful. Going to prune his way out. The X-Power Gaming Bit of a superstar, but we can see a bit of a boat battle going down. Hayes can still do some work. He's able to shoot on this one. Holding the boat still. Luminosity Gaming trying to get in towards this fun safe way. You can see the evasive maneuvers just tearing that tail out, but they can go to the rocks and play on the rocks as well, get some fire back towards them. Drassel, well aware of this. You're going to hear those shots from Hayes, but again, how much ammo? Not much. 30 in the clip, 18 in the pocket. You can't afford to do this. Drassel just got knocked out.
I was about to say, Drassel just got knocked out from falling.
Did he get out of the boat too fast?
Kena itu kena speed.
And now they hear it. They're in easy trouble. And they know that P2 is going to be picking him up, so they're going in for the kill.
Kayaknya dia tahu deh.
Lagi belok.
Apa enggak?
Dia ngelihat bawah kiri deh kayaknya.
If he's reviving him fine, that'll take some time. They need to get back in the boat. It does look as though Mazari did get shut down.
Lihat.
And they're just baffled as to what the hell's happened. They may not even realize how this has gone through, but there we go. Draffel is back up. So at least he's safe for now, and they can go for fun. Do they realize they've been revived?
Dilemparin bom.
If you go too close to that boat, there's going to be problems, and there are. They're getting lit up now. Maybe a little bit, I don't know, they just didn't understand what was happening. I don't blame them. It's a little bit baffling. Switching on the seats is a good way to avoid the shots coming in, but they are getting interrupted.
Malah jadi blunder.
Gara-gara gerak ya.
Careful jumping out of these things. All good, all well. Hayes is fine. They're both going to play the boat game now, but it's one of those. Why not? You can see how well it worked before. It does get you higher.
Padahal dia yang mau nge-push anjir.
They'll be doing that boat jumping in and out for a while. Not much to be said over about that one, but Chappie's still in this.
Yang gue bingung kenapa dia nggak ke naik dulu itu ya, naik mobil high.
Sebenarnya tanpa dia naik pun dia standby pet ngepantekin. Enak kok. Gila. Kick.
Jadi semuanya jadi nyebut Harry Potter Tower.
I think it was Spadge who potentially killed his teammate earlier on. I seem to remember it in the kill feed, so that potentially could be revenge for him.
Yeah, I actually believe it might have been. I'm not 100% sure myself, but Adren's still in this. The blue's moving in pretty quickly here. He's got the blue to his side, so he's going to take the shot. Nice control. Gassy Mexican denied this round. First kill on the board for Adren, but it's not too bad in the end as he's going to find another one. Nice control on the tapping here. You're going to see that coming through. Maybe another. Forzen's gone down in the meantime, sadly for him, but a decent finish, but not quite towards the top. Still within, you know, you're in the 50 range. You need to be looking at 20s, that sort of thing. If you want a big shot at this game now. If you want to change how the standings look, 10, 20, that's the position you've got to be looking at. This is over by the underground bunkers still. A very hard one to play. Third person plays to a wall, to peek the top of the ridges. But again, you're going to see the car being brought around here. Adren baiting out the noise actually as well. It's only in there, not Anger can still lay down the fire. Smart approach. That's going to cause them to peek up, and it does. Sick, intuitive, clever motions from the CS players from Mythic. Adren and Anger, well done. They fell for that hook, line and sinker.
With the M16 A4, it does 41 per tick. And just
spray don't
as I'm going through that, Bobber GG takes out one. Turns around, here's the
sampai itu kena.
Long scope though, he's got the scope for it.
Sampai itu kena. Sampai itu kena. Sampai itu kena, guys. Oke, enggak. Itu hampir sih yang tadi.
Itu kalau kena.
Yang last itu hampir parah. Itu sensasinya, Gi. Ya.
Tadi ya, masih tadi.
Ya. Ya. Langsung mati kan kalau lagi di itu.
Kalau kapal lagi jalan
ya.
Can he get it in time? I don't think he can get it. He has to peek up, he has to get to the top of the water as the other liquid guys in this. They've
tahuannya anjir. Ngeselin.
Fortunately finding a water end there out in the ocean. We'll see down in the kill feed as well. Takes him out with the 16 45 players remaining.
Si Juan mana
si Juan? Is everybody up now? Did we see any final stragglers? I mean, it's not really a great time to be doing it once we've had a look at this little engagement going on here. It's the C9 boys chilling in the little compound.
Let him take whatever he wants.
This is the compound just next to the apartments, right? Just over from it a little bit. Pretty sure, because you have a broken wall around here and it's such a good place. You've got the parking lot here, he's got the house. Then in front of it, you've got that wall and the container that goes all the way around it. Smack takes out one of the Noble guys. He is dead.
Yeah, Daz was all on his own. His teammate died a little bit earlier on. Very light loot here, it seems. Oh, no, excuse me. There is an M4 on his back. I didn't see that for a second. I was kind of curious. You know, decent loot otherwise, but all of the car coming in there, that's going to be seen. Bit of a looting going down here. The UMP let a couple of bullets fly, but no kills coming in on the kill feed. That doesn't show us too much. But only 15 seconds on the next circle to start moving. Boba and the boys got to get themselves tucked in now. They know it. They might have just been spotted out here. So he's going to see one. He's going to lay down some fire, but oh, it's Oshi 7 being found. Bit of a shame for him. He made it from the military island, but merely got outflanked here, out-timed. They're going to get themselves moving, though. They've got a lot of terrain to cover here.
Udah kelar.
Udah kelar. Mobilnya
Mana mobilnya?
Tiba-tiba selesai.
Cuma nge-replayin 100 orang sih berat juga sih memang.
Tapi seenggaknya kalau lagi ada kontak, Bet.
Iya, pada kontak tuh mesti selesai.
This is the compound where the players. Is this the one where he's got the C9 guys above him potentially, or am I talking rubbish here?
It actually could be. Yeah, because that's the same.
Pretty sure it is.
That was already being toyed with. I'm curious what gun he's got on his back. I didn't see that before. It is. Now, I'm pretty sure Borg, if they got there already up really high, they hear this, they might have seen someone or heard people shooting at him. Jared did manage to find Hayes. They were the guys by the water, so the water strat not working out this time. But Stylish Noob, we've seen this guy's very good actually. He's got a scar on his back as well, so he's decently geared. But I'm pretty sure they're going to know he's here. I'm not sure if the door opening would have done it, but here we go. He's got wrecked. Not only playing against someone else, but also having the circle right behind you. You have no time to take the fight. Stody managed to get into this one as well. Finally seeing him kick off, which is always good. Back into the battle. Fist going to fight Ollie. Finally taking them down to Velo as well, getting taken down outside.
Juan mati.
Just found Juan, but I'm not sure if that's the same player.
Kalau di Indonesia dikatain tuh looting simulator.
Because now this compound will not be in, not the one we're looking at right now, but the ones that were at before might be in trouble now.
No, it's not because it's
beda sih, Pet. Looting simulator itu kita ngeloot banyak. Wah, kena.
Dor. Barang-barang J2, J2.
Eta terangkan, dor. Eta terangkan, dor. Ya.
Di tengah-tengah sih.
Kok kesel ya?
Dia nembaknya di tengah-tengah gitu loh.
View and vision that these players have been able to just see something like that in the corner there, all the way in the
2024
chilling in the garage, and then attempt for the kill. THC takes out Andy Pyro, going to see JP2 also. Here comes the big hit from the
gagal
again taking out his teammate Chappy from the actual team. Look at the AKM as well.
Rusuh nggak tuh? Lu.
But they're all just dying. Teammates on teammates. Grenade comes in.
Let's go, Sweater.
He's cooking it. He's going for the car.
He's taking too long though. The thing is, during the Kobe taking too long, allowed Borg to die for it, but no, he lands the nade. Something we haven't seen that much of today.
Sama Cloud9 boom, apa yang terjadi?
I guess it was a nade knockout really. It was to confirm the death. But nice work from him, really well played. Beautiful stuff on towards the other Cloud9 guys.
I love the fact that he actually stepped out in the open, he cooked it as long as possible, then threw it, went underneath the car, took out that player that was hiding behind it. What an absolutely clutch kill. Cloud9, they want the win. These guys do love third person. We'll see how this one plays out a little bit more. Meanwhile, on the opposing side,
ini yang menang pertama tadi.
The stairwell, he's got his teammate with him.
Other victors,
They're just
the first round.
Yeah.
Thoroughly impressed with him in the second as well. These guys are becoming a really enjoyable one to watch here. But Cake slowly into this. And he's got the slow side of the circle for now, but he's waiting to see if they cross out essentially. He wants to be the victor of this battle with the fence. Take down Vicstar in the end. He walks away from so far away. Bear in mind, he was one of the players over it was. Primos, but now the tag's come through. He can hear the shots around. He wants to confirm that kill. Vicstar, no chance. Bandaging no. No one else close by. He should be able to make a run, but it's still quite far. And Cake, this is not going to be a sweet end to this one.
Oh, dia nggak punya.
To get off these heels, but
dia nggak punya.
Nggak selamat.
He goes down inside a shame, but he took down one with his
takut ditembakin kayaknya.
And there is no big building left inside that next
Stode udah mati, Stode.
And here we go. This is where
ada curut tuh.
A little more interesting.
And still the mansion. These boys have been here from the very start and they're holding their
ground. Oh, ini yang dimension yang dari tadi masih ninja nih.
Iya, yang dari awal.
Dari awal.
This mansion belongs to
ninja masih hidup.
Masih ada tuh sama Mountain.
Stone Mountain, Sweater. I actually like the
sampai jadi highlight juga Stone
4 squad ini. 4 squad di sini.
Sumpah sih Stone sama Stone Mountain nggak pernah tadi.
Nggak pernah di highlight.
PC-nya kayaknya nggak ke itu, nggak ke set. Tapi yang free kamera mah bisa kali ya. Ya, salah alt tab.
Ya.
Salah alt tab.
Kamera dari spek kan harusnya bisa tuh.
Iya, makanya.
Wah, Alex.
Ya dibokong.
Dibunuh sama
WTCNN itu dong, yang rank 1 tadi.
Stode,
Stode dong. Nah, ya jadi ninja anjir.
The Luminosity boys will be hearing
Ya
this.
Allah.
They've been here the whole time as well. They've been camping this one out.
Muself
Why not? They
mati.
need it. Good spot comes in from Chips,
Oh,
but he can't
ada
land the
panci
shot.
juga.
Smack takes that music down in the kill feed also, but look, they're in the only
Sorry
compound
dong.
left.
Kayaknya musuhan deh.
Just on
Nggak
the
ada.
edge, they can walk
Padahal lagi war ya.
wander through. At the moment we'll see
Iya,
Sweat
sweater
making his way
lagi.
up, looking around, checking left, right. You can hear the gunshots.
Wah,
He's
dan mau
taking down
terbunuh tuh.
Sanix New. That's the
Ninja
guy they were toying with
nokin
earlier on.
Sode.
Block back outside.
Wah, ada
He's
si
got
Bis.
to run, he's got to go. He's out in the open. Shots are coming in left.
Dari
right,
atas.
center.
Bawah juga ada.
Will he survive?
Gila gerakannya sweater.
Oke.
One person in front of him.
Bingung.
Waduh.
Bingung itu.
Iya, soalnya nggak aman.
Ninja menang. Menang banyak Ninja.
Oh my god.
Oh my word, this is terrifying. They need
Meninggal
the
si Ninja
revives
di
to come
bawah.
in, but here comes a buggy plate, sprays it down. Chipsy,
bawah
what
dia
can you
ada
do?
orang.
Can you make it count when it matters? Looks towards the door, he knows he's being
Tapi punya
pressured.
shotgun
Ninja's
kocok
already
dia,
gone down.
terbaik.
He's expecting that close push. The shotgun still so
Dua orang di
viable
bawah.
here. We're down to 5 players, the tiniest of
Dua orang di
circles.
batu.
And Chipsy, the Luminosity
Ya
guys
udah, di
need
batu
this one
tuh
in
nih.
the bag. That could
Mungkin
be
gara-gara
victory
Stone
for them.
Mountain lagi live YouTube bang, mungkin ya.
Just peeking and poking that corner, hoping someone comes up the stairwell. If they do, they are boxed in.
Jadi
That
takutnya
shotgun's gonna do so
kayak
much damage.
live snap stream
Nine
gitu
pellets
kan.
to the chest will absolutely
Dan
dominate.
dua orang
What
ini
do
udah
we
selamat,
have?
Pak.
TSM are both still alive.
Okay, so we
sama
have a
Fizz
really
enak banget.
strange
Oh my
combination.
word, look at this.
Look at TSM's positioning. They played it very well. They didn't know how well they played it. So I think we've got basically 2 teams alive, 1 solo. That's it. Gypsy can be the biggest pain in the
Keluar
ass. He
rumah
can
ke
make it
batu
so the
tadi
other
ya,
team can't
cuma
win. He
satu
could
tempat
Iya.
itu
make
doang.
the other team
Ada
suffer.
pohon
He
sih
plays this
di
very
depan batu
slow.
itu ada pohon.
Gets him in the air, so they cross
Tapi kan
the
batu
circle.
ada orang
The
tadi.
game is his.
Enggak,
Or
maksudnya
they do
batu
the
di
same
samping
thing,
rumah
but
tuh
they
ada
cost
batu
them their
satu.
position.
Oh.
Basically, TSM
Tapi
do not
bawahnya
need to be
dia ada
involved
kan.
here. They
Tuh,
don't need to touch
dua
this
biji.
fight.
Ada
They're
pohon.
selamat,
And
nggak
let's not
selamat.
touch you in the
Pohon
corner.
kejauhan.
That's the
Jauhan
problem. Nades
jaraknya.
start to rain in. Here we go. 13
kena.
seconds remain. Bit of a splashdown
Udah
to
ini
keep
yang
Gypsy on his toes. The heal comes out.
si
He
itu
wasn't
menang,
pre-boosted, which is
Fizz.
surprising. They could
Ya,
have
nungguin
capitalized
dua
on that,
orang
but
itu ya.
didn't. During this time, have they moved? Have they run? Have they changed? No, you can still see 1 player below. You can still see them waiting on this. TSM just
Everyone
need
with
to be patient.
shotguns.
They don't need to move at all. This is what I
Salah
mean.
satu
that
cara
eventually
nunggu
in
dua
this
orang
meta,
untuk
in
keluar
this sort of
baru
situation,
si
in this
Tipsy
circle, in
keluar.
this end,
Dia
you use
pancingan dua
shotguns
orang
here,
di
but as
bawah.
soon as you get past this environment, it's fair play to everything. He's now got full stim on basically.
TSM menang,
Here comes the
coy,
blue.
kayaknya.
Can
Menang
they survive
TSM.
this? They can creep out. They can wait. TSM, will they hold their nerve? Will they be
Masih
patient?
aman
Or
tahu,
will he
sumpah.
Spider-Man down and ruin the day for them? We're gonna
Masih
find out
aman
if
nggak
he's still in
sih?
the circle. I don't think he is. He will be
Masih
forced.
aman.
It's
Masih aman.
real. So now let's see if there's patience.
Ya.
Ya, di granat mati.
Gagal.
Oh, enggak masuk ya?
Nggak masuk.
Nggak masuk ya?
Mantul ke bawah lagi.
They know they have this all in their hands.
Belum
The
pas
battle
ditembak
still
tadi.
continues. They can revive their teammate. There's still one up on the balcony. This is insane stuff.
Tempat terbaik anjir.
Wah. Satu lawan dua apa?
Belum satu.
Waduh.
Nggak kabur loncatnya. Loncatnya dulu
Tipsy udah turun tadi kayaknya ya.
Belum.
TSM just put up a wall. This is their
Terus kalau dapat
game.
lagi?
They will not allow this
Kok
to
di
change. Or
smokin
can
ya?
Gypsy go against the odds?
I think he's still in the corner as
Good
well.
idea.
Kok dapat
Oh,
lagi dari mana?
daerahnya.
He baits out the shot. He wants this fight as
Oh,
well. He doesn't
masih.
care about this. The circle's a new place, so basically
Bagus
what's
ya,
gonna
bisa
happen
turun
now,
dia.
Fizz is just gonna be the man to get the
Lokasinya
fight.
dekat dia.
Nggak bisa
Dikunci tapi
Back now,
Pohon
Gypsy's in the
duluan.
safe position. He's got the cover in the new circle.
Kalau
He's
bisa
got
sih,
the
masih bisa dah.
defense.
Oh,
Kalau
bisa,
timnya
bisa.
si Ninja ini menang,
Gypsy
wah.
win this one. How does he get out of it?
Gila
He
sih.
doesn't
Blue
move
Zone
any
udah
second
jalan.
now.
Tuh, tuh, tuh.
He's made the first play.
Nah.
Full
Wah.
first play. There
Dan
it is.
TSM.
Smack lays down 4 kills in the end. Gypsy played it well, calm, cool, collected. But how much more could you do? But what a great game from the Cloud9 guys as well. We saw Bog being an absolute animal throughout that one.
Team Solo Mid finally get a win on the board. Smack and Biss at the end, coming up clutch. Everything, unfortunately, was just on the line for Gypsy. He had his back up against the blue. He had to move. But I tell you what, he
Dia
did
naik rank
so
1
well
nggak
to
ya?
survive for so long.
Leadernya?
From the very start, being there with
Leaderboardnya?
Ninja, not moving whatsoever. Having 2 players constantly on his back, like dogs, just
Berarti dia anak Dota ya?
stayed alive. But you gotta
Apa
remember,
tuh?
him and
Tim
Ninja
Solo Mid?
believe they're in
SM.
sixth. Coming second's gonna give them a bolster
Banyak
of
TSM
points.
mah.
Has
Iya,
he
maksudnya
done enough, though,
Dota
to give
solo
them
mid
the
kan?
number 1 spot? We'll be finding out from the admins in just a second as we bring
Ini
up that
PUBG-nya pakai
final
login loh.
scorecard to show you who our
Emang.
Gamescom Duos 3-person winner exactly
Tuh. Oh dia rank 1. Oh untung aja. Yuki anjir.
Yuki yang bertahan dari Yuki
Ninja keempat anjir.
Naik 2.
Udah las kan nih kan?
Udah. Harusnya udah.
Tapi untuk qualifiernya kayaknya enggak deh. Ada satu lagi kayaknya. Menurut gua ya.
Gue juga nggak tahu itu qualifier itu maksudnya yang solo duo FPP squad atau
PUBG duonya itu kan yang dikuningin. Turnamennya kan yang dikuningin, berarti qualifier mah enggak.
Really sticking in this one, playing a longevity game. You can see the disparity in kills there. WTCN and Mithrain, Sweater and Borg, definitely frag heavy players, definitely providing a lot. 70 points between them. The others around the 30 marker, playing a little bit more for the.
Lihat aja kalau udah ada penyerahan panci.
Did very well there. Also, outside of Butts did nicely themselves. They were one of the qualifiers, just missing out on the money though. But Yuki and THC, considering these are the two teams that essentially, or should I say two of the teams who went through the open qualifier have made it to the top 5. That for me is what I like about this game. If you're good online, if you can play it, if you get on those ranks, you get on those ladderboards, and you deliver on a regular basis, you can come here and provide us with some great games. You are more than capable of doing so. This is what it means to me, and this is going to mean the world to them.
And I tell you what, this goal only
ada yang 0 tuh lihat.
Of course, it moves into first person, but we're still
apanya? Kill pointnya 0. Dua-duanya. Sumpah.
Sedih.
Itu main zone doang itu pasti.
Ngelut lari.
Damn good job. We'll run down through 6. We're going to see Smack and Biz getting up there with that win, but not enough, unfortunately, to be in the money bracket. Umru and Dingus can move into 7th. Down at 8, we see Scoom and Mol.
Oh, belum di-refresh kan?
Victor and Musa. I tell you what, credit where credit's due to Victor. 9th place is a
udah dong yang tadi. Tadi beda 4 ya toh.
Uang $350.000.
Oh, udah kelar. Ada yang masuk ke dalam kertas tadi kayak.
Nothing else you can do on that. You just kind of get caught in the hill. Well, that's me done.
Kita lihat pembagian panci nih.
To me was probably one of the people I didn't expect to get high up as you know, because there's still streamers, there's still influencers, there's people that aren't necessarily associated with like the esports side of things or competitive gaming as much. He came in and showed he's very much able to compete. The fans out there that supported him clearly know what they're up to. They know what's going on, so he did really well to do what he did.
I think this is another good thing to say about this game, how easily accessible it is to anyone. Anyone can jump on, anyone can pick up the mouse and keyboard. You can keep playing it from a social aspect. It's just a game that you can jump on, you can really enjoy. But if you put the time in, you put the effort in, you can become a professional. We've seen some of the professionals already in action. We've seen Luminosity, we've seen TSA. But then we see guys coming out of nowhere on the day, showing up, getting the kills when it matters. There were some incredibly clutch moments there. But I'll tell you what, congratulations to the winners. They turned up, they made it, and they're going to be walking away. I believe, I'll let you bring, do we actually have the kill feed, in fact? They have the final prizes, so they're going to be walking away with $30,000. Second place walking home with $28,000 for third, and then $4,000 for fourth. So, big difference between first, second, and fourth when you look at the prizing, but turning up on a day and walking home with 30 grand. That's insane. That's amazing.
This is why I was so happy when I saw the open qualifier. When that got announced, I was, over the moon because you get to see what this game at a high level as well. Those guys played a great game. They didn't even play the cheesy game either. So for me, I was so glad to see them do well there. Credit where it's due to them. They are my MVPs of the day. There was a good few others who really surprised me, but yeah, I did not see TSM. Clearly happy with each other.
Itu lu tahu nggak sih, kupingnya diremes dulu biar masuk.
Makanya lu udah ngebayangin kan itu nggak kelihatan lidah sama sekali loh, nempel lah.
Jadi kupingnya di dalamnya itu gitu. Ngembang lagi. Komentatornya duluan mulutnya daripada otaknya kayaknya. Emang gitu, gua udah bilang gitu tadi. Mulutnya duluan yang kerja. Norem anjir itu komentatornya dewa banget.
They are predominantly a squads team. For me, at least when I watch it, they practice the squads, they do the online tournaments. I think everyone when you look at
dia kalau PDKT bayangin guys. Bayangin.
Langsung pakai di kuping banget. Kayaknya masih lanjut ya.
Enggak, itu udah ada yang balik.
Udah pada bawa atas.
Udah level 3
skin itu udah ada lagu Gelang Sipati Gelang.
we'll hopefully get them the word when it's all ready and done, because I think we're done talking for the day. We've done a lot of talking.
One person who's really showing up though, and again, whether or not you can really take much from it, but when you bring in a draft,
si pemenang tuh,
excuse me,
Yuki Kato.
Borg, when you bring in
Si Cipet anjir.
A substitute's a rough word, even a backup so to speak, but you've got to bring someone into that squadron. So far, Borg has been absolutely taking faces every single time. We're talking 5, 6, 7, 8, even 11 kills at one point. That man is an absolute animal. We were watching him before, hanging outside the back of that window. I think the shot must have been a good 400-500. Someone else he just picked up from the opposing side of the building.
Yeah. And if it's the guy that I'm thinking of, he's top 100 on squads as well back in NA, so he's going to bring a lot towards the final game for Cloud9. So he's a great pickup, good choice for them. Still not sure what we're waiting on. Seems that everyone's just chilling out now.
Everyone's chilled. They're all
Dia lagi live
having
stream.
a little bit of a talk. We'll get these guys into position very soon so we can do the trophy announcements, hand over the prizes and hand over the checks exactly how it needs to be done, because there's so much on the line. Not only the trophies, not the money, but the pride. You know, especially turning up to an event without a sponsor or an organization on your back and just turning up and being able to take down some of these names, because there are some big names here. There are some very, very big names.
Well, we all know that a lot of these players got picked up because they're popular streamers rather than, you know, competitive players. I think that's going to change.
Still needs to develop over time, obviously.
And it's completely viable to do that, but it's good to see these young players who just grind out the game. That to me is what this game is about. That it's not just about the, you know, the I think it's about the young guys. It does seem as though we're almost ready for the trophy moment now. So you can see the guys getting ready. Great stuff from the guys.
Messi, Lionel Messi nih.
Thoroughly impressed me throughout the day. Huge performance from him. The young guys who just came in and managed to surprise just about everyone. Some of the fan favorites did very well today.
All right, looks like all the players are in place.
Pakai Wak Doyok tuh yang paling kiri tuh, yang baju merah.
Model Wak Doyok because we have camera in there.
Messi.
He's live on the mic. We've got all the players.
Italia kan pas.
We are just bringing all these trophies out of the back. We do have the pans once again. I believe in the background that we need to actually get ready. But when you look at that, you've got players, obviously, they've got the organization, they've got the tag on the t-shirt, they've got the pride, but then you've got these guys who have just turned up, Lauren, they don't have the t-shirts, they don't have the organization, they don't have that pressure behind them, but they have individual skill. The bigger question is, can these guys that won today, can they make it through and get through to first person, and can they do the exact same?
That would be great, wouldn't it?
It would be amazing.
I'd love to see that, yeah. So the guys, if you don't know, there's on the stage right now is Yuki and TPP.
Hadiahnya harusnya panci juga kan?
The guys who qualified here.
Sama kayak kemarin.
Left field, no one really knew, you know, what to expect from them.
Apa dua panci? Gua penasaran hadiahnya aja sih.
Taunya pancinya lebih gede tuh.
Enggak, pancinya 2. Kayak silang gitu. Kalau squad 4.
Malu-malu. There was a lot of talk about those guys. You know, I had to work out who they were pretty fast because there was a lot of fans of them and the Cloud9 guys. I think you know it mostly, but it's Borg and Sweater. And Borg had a huge game.
It's good to see Sweater doing so well as well. You know, you kind of mentioned before, look, I don't care. Fair enough, we didn't win that.
Itu kayak Captain America anjir.
It's all about assisting my teammate and working together, but finally it comes into play. He plays
itu lu yang streaming kemarin ya? Iya, lu juga ya. Ngobrol gitu loh. Ya, satu stream kita.
And they're still on main stage. It came through.
Yeah, it's not bad, is it?
It's not.
That all right?
Asli ini berdua kayak apa ya?
Jijiin. Cringe parah anjir. Kayak awkward gitu loh mereka. Kayak nggak kenal gitu tapi menang gitu loh. Paham gak sih?
I went to Gamescom. Mom, I won 30 grand.
But this is the thing, right? This is why open qualifiers
Panci lagi tuh.
Ya, panci lagi.
I think they have to be there because you get to see people doing this.
Gua kira bakal lihat beda.
Bukan dari poinnya dong, Tok ya.
Apa poinnya, Pet?
Poin menang 1, 2, 3 kan ya?
I'm really glad to be seeing this.
Iya.
And I'm really glad to see from the frying pans.
You know what else I'm looking forward to seeing because this is where
itu laki megang panci kayak siap mukul orang toh.
The bigger question for me is later on in the week.
Itu sistem battle di Friday the 13th anjir.
Will they join up? Will they make it through? Will they be on the main stage again?
Did they plan to turn up for that many days?
Yeah, exactly. Have they even planned?
Gak ada namanya apa? Duo gitu.
Using some of that 30 grand to go back themselves another hotel and try again. Have we find players of tomorrow? That's what the good thing is about a LAN environment.
BTW Messi Argentina waktu oh iya benar. Gua tadi ngomong Italia. Iya itu baju Argentina maksudnya. Kok Italia sih gua ngomong?
Jauh kali.
Tapi yang sadar satu doang tuh kayaknya.
Bagus. I'll update you guys at home. That's why it's taking so long right now. The admins are just mulling over the numbers. But there's a possibility.
Cipet nih, malu-malu Cipet nih.
Scary
Malu-malu. Kok gue yang malu sih, anjing cringe banget aja. Gue ngeliat dia cringe aja.
Gaya dia anjir.
Terus nggak jadi gitu loh, Gi. Kayak nggak jadi gitu. Gaya tapi nggak jadi.
Oh kan masuk kamera tuh, gaya tuh.
Gaya, terus nggak jadi gitu.
Have a little look around. They've been on stage for a while.
Ini wadoyok berdua nih.
Well, apologies for the delay, guys. We will keep you.
Yang baju merah tuh, wadoyok banget kumisnya tuh.
They are working everything out in the back because it obviously needs to be right. There's a lot of money on the line
Thumbnail tuh tuh.
But
apa?
Oh
itu.
Lupa.
Yang belakang mah kan gue ubah, itu kan enggak.
Yang di dalamnya muka Octo.
Tapi jarang orang yang sadar gitu loh. Gara-gara kecil kan.
Kayak Kapten Amerika itu, alah.
Kapten Amerika sama Messi.
Lihat yang laki-laki megang panci kayak siap mau mukul yang di depannya tuh.
Tung. Gue tetap jijiin sih liatin yang tengah anjir. Cringe parah. Apalagi kalau pas ngajak tos itu loh. Itu fuck banget.
See you there, guys. And only 4 days later, he walks away in a very strong position. So those guys are going to be, you know, absolutely loving this. But I am still waiting on updates, guys. Apologies. I think everyone else is as well. It's been a long day.
Itu kok 3 tim menangnya. Rank 1, 2, 3.
It's only been
aku masuk.
5 hours.
Lihat dong viewernya berapa itu? Twitch.
118.
Tadi puncaknya berapa ya?
20.
TSM just chilling there behind a rock and letting play the circuit. Twice now we've seen TSM where they've been in a very good position perpendicular to where the circle's actually moving. We saw it with Break on day number 1. All of a sudden we just saw one circle and it just popped on him. He's like, okay, same thing happened there.
Do you know what we can do?
Go on.
We can go zoom in on the admins, not the photographers who are sitting there going.
Gaya di tengah pas itu itu tuh. Yang di tengah gaya pas itu di foto. Betul kan? Iya gaya tuh.
And just watch them sweating bullets going. Don't know what to do. Let's find them. Here's the overview camera. I'll give you a shout when they're on there. Wait, there they are.
Kursi boleh tuh kalau udah beres.
Scratching chinga. Oh, Jesus.
100 loh itu.
Buat display.
It has been a fun day. A fun day.
It's going to be a fun 4 days. I'm looking forward to tomorrow. First person is going to be insane.
Itu masih aja, wah ini warnet mahal nih kata dia. Wadaw, gede amat tuh.
Wow, gua baru sadar tuh. Gua baru ngeh anjing.
Ya Allah.
Sampai tumpe-tumpe.
Oh ini cosplay. Ah tuh, saya tamak. Malah main game.
Don't look at me like that. Come on. Let's talk about it. We need to kill some time here, so let's have a chat about it.
Just watch these highlights really quietly.
Do you want to do that?
Auto semua.
There's a lot of things I want to do right now that don't end very well for me, career-wise, because at this point we're still waiting to find out what the end result is. But yeah, we can have a look back at what we saw today. That was TSM when they were drastically under-geared. Saw the Vector in the late game play. That was Break, still in the one. Throughout the day here, Mythrain as well. These guys did so well there. That was beautiful from those guys. Big fan of them after the back of that. And yeah, all just wait and see what happens.
Apologies for this, guys. We will get this info relayed as quickly as possible.
Gue tahu sih deh.
Liquid happy. Liquid smiling.
If we don't get updates, I can just read you through the rule book, guys.
Wow, SKS ya, kena ya, shoot.
Kayak gue gitu ya.
Another highlight from is this game 2?
Tadi nih.
Mati.
Yeah, it's game number 2. That's when we saw Cloud9 looking back, and then all of a sudden his teammate just came in.
Water World.
Yes.
Galak.
It was a very interesting circle, that's needless to say.
Tragedi pantai.
And I also am glad that nobody from that relay battle.
Awkward.
The late game players though, coming in out of nowhere.
Yep, just staying basically safe throughout it. Let everyone just get in the paddling pool, have a good bit of fun.
Gede juga ya headphone-nya ya.
Itu gede juga tuh, cowok.
Itu ngomong di depannya gumoh nggak ya?
Gumoh. Habis oksigen, Pet.
Pada pakai tas backpack level 3 ya.
Ada yang level 1 tuh.
Julia level 3 tuh.
Julia.
Siapa? Julia TV kan? Siapa tadi?
Bukan itu mah.
Iya itu Julia TV tuh.
Yang rambutnya merah-merah bukan.
Iya itu dia.
Itu tas level 2, level 2, level 2.
Level 2 oh iya.
Yang hijau level 2. Itu parasut tuh.
Itu level 1 toh. Toh. Yang dekat tembok level 1 toh.
Oh iya.
Kayaknya.
Ada yang masih pakai parasut tuh. Sebelahnya.
Ini yang lagi duduk juga level 1 toh. Tuh. Yang lagi duduk pakai topi toh.
Ya megang kameramen kayak parasut ya.
Iya.
You can really get into it and get some good stuff in your pocket. The Intel PUBG raffle kit as well in there.
Tuh level 1 kan bener kan? Si spek.
Ya. Tas anak STM tuh. Tas anak STM anjing.
So who's been entering the giveaways?
Oh well.
I work on the social team. Funny. I got the level 1.
Itu maksudnya lucu itu loh.
Kayak nggak lucu tapi dibilang
lucu
tuh.
Iya, lucu. Ngenjek gitu. Dia pasti kesel nih kayak aduh habis konten nih obrolannya kata dia. Mau ngulur waktu gitu loh. Ih, ada dude perfect, dude perfect.
Dude perfect.
Akhirnya.
Dia kalau dude perfect main gimana itu?
Dia kan jago semuanya gitu loh harusnya ya.
Pakai crossbow-nya dari atas ke bawah.
Jaraknya orang kan 1 kilometer, Pet. Ini 3 kilo anjing. Long shoot-nya.
It's not be great to cook with, which obviously is the place I should be back in the
kitchen.
Disebut
aja kalau
decorative piece.
It's very strong comment.
Gue pengen ngeliat si manusia awkward nih.
I like to be self-deprecating in my jokes. It beats Twitter to it. That's what you gotta do. Yeah. Right, we're waiting on the second. Who's gonna get it?
Oh, it's
Cloud9. Okay, so we got third, second, and of course third will be over on the other side of things.
Captain America sama Messi.
Nah, lihat nih.
Nah, ini nih.
Dapat gol dia.
So it's correct. So congratulations then turning up live.
Dia live streamer bukan sih? Yang
enggak tahu.
Si Yuki
katanya ketemu dia stream katanya tapi
dia
live Twitch.
Kayaknya nggak pakai facecam deh. Ya nggak sih? Kaku soalnya. Kayak malu-malu gitu.
Of the Invitational.
Ed, gua kira mau meluk anjir. Tatap-tatapan lagi gua pukul nih. Tatap-tatapan gua pukul nih. Kata dia, oh ini di kilo berapa ya katanya?
Dikiloin berapa ya, dapat berapa
ya
tuh?
Berat juga nih.
Ditaruh di celana masuk nggak ya kata dia? Oke.
Tatap-tatapan lagi toh.
Iya, jijik dah. Males gue. Yaudah guys. Besok ada lagi guys. Bye bye.